We are live. Hold on. Is it too loud? What's going on? Wait a minute. Okay, I think we're good now. And we are live. Hopefully my sound is good. Hey, before I begin, hey, hold on. Before I begin my little intro, let me know if the mic is too loud. I feel like it's a little bit too loud. If it is, y'all let me know. Well, let's get back. And we are live. How's everybody doing tonight? My name is Anthony Brian Logan, and you're watching and/or listening to ABL. Is it too live? Hold on. Is it distorted? Okay, that's what's going on. Testing. Okay, let's try something else here, shall we? Hold on. Now, is it distorted still? See, they don't want me to be great. Y'all give me a second. Now I gotta go fix some things. Give me 1 second, and we're gonna get it together. All right. Give me 1 good second. We shall get it together. It says still a bit loud, distorted, clipping. What is this? Madness. Yeah. Okay, hold on. What's happening is that it's too loud. So I'm trying to just turn it down. Let me see if I could find what I need here. All right, let's try this. Y'all give me a second, please. Y'all bear with me. Hey, the white man, I blame the white man. Blame the white man for it. It's not my fault. There we go. Okay. There we go. Now we got it down to, so what happened? Now, y'all let me know if it's better. I think what happened was I'll be doing Zoom calls and stuff with people, and I had a meeting with the YouTube peoples. Is it better? Okay, perfection, fixed. There we go. So what happened was I was on the meeting with my YouTube rep, and I did ask my rep about my play button. I don't know nothing about what's going to happen with the play button yet. But since I was on the meeting, what happens is it hijacked my microphone, and I turned the setting off so it wouldn't do that, but it still did it. Okay, it still did it. Now, the volume should be good. See, if it's low, what probably happened was you turned the volume down because I was too loud in the beginning. And since it was too loud, it's clipping, it's distorted, it's crazy. But now it's good. Yeah, so I hijacked the microphone. It turned it up way too high. I had to turn it down to my normal setting. Normally, the input setting is on 80, and then went all the way to 100. I'm like, okay, my mixer, everything's good with the mixer. I had to go on the back page of that. Okay, so welcome to ABL Live. I'm glad y'all joining me tonight. The intro got kind of jacked up because of the microphone issue, but we are here. We're in the building. There's a lot going on. There's a whole lot of videos I've not gotten to. We got to talk about the Jasmine Crockett versus Byron Donalds kerfuffle. That's still going on. There's a lot to that. There's a whole lot of stuff. You got race and politics and everything going on with that. New York City Mayor Eric Adams, his case, the so-called corruption case, got dismissed. We'll talk about that. The Transformers wanting to take over sports. And it's funny with the Transformers because they always say, oh, it's about inclusion. It's about inclusion. You could be included in the sport of your actual birth gender. Matter of fact, hold on. I'm going to show you a story. Not a video quite yet, but a story. And I'm going to show you what I'm talking about. Okay. So stuff like this. Hold on. this kind of thing, they're making it be like some kind of civil rights situation. Okay, hold on, like this right here. Look, do y'all see this headline right here? Look at this. This, I think, is on Washington Post. And it says, forced off her, quote unquote, her track team, a trans high schooler in Virginia joined the boys instead. Now, what does this actually mean? Anybody just wanting to break it down in the regular? What this means is a boy joined the boys' high school track team. I mean, groundbreaking, right? I'm talking mind blown. Wow, a boy joining the boys' track team. That's pretty regular, pretty run of the mill. There's not anything different about that. Just because you might be a little bit soft, you think you're a girl, you kind of confused, there's things going on, it's kind of weird. Just because that's going on does not mean you're a boy. You're still a boy, regardless of what you want to think. And also, how about this? I don't understand how we're allowing children to become transgender. What part of the game is that? Like, what's that all about? How is that a thing that's okay? I mean, we have certain laws in this nation for a reason. You cannot consent to, any kind of adult activity under the age of 18 or whatever it is. So why are we allowing 12, 13, 14-year-old boys to say, yeah, I'm transgender? Those two things don't really add up, but that's just me. But anyway, and it's always the boys who want to join the girls' team. It's never the girls who want to join the boys' team as far as being a so-called transgender. There are some girls who play boys' sports, but they play that sport as girls, just like you might have a female football player, right? She might be a punter or something like this. She's not really going to be out there getting in the mix with the boys normally. That's not how that goes. And if she is, it's going to be problems. But that's very rare for them to try to do that, especially as a so-called transgender man. Think about Elliot Page now, or Ellen Page. You think Ellen Page is going to go out there and try to be playing basketball and whatnot with the boys? I mean, be serious. It's a mess. So yeah, shout out to you guys for being here. I appreciate y'all for joining. We got a whole lot to talk about tonight. There's a lot of videos. There's a lot of things happening. The tariffs. Oh my goodness. We're going to get to the tariffs. But the news media are scaring the normies so much with the tariffs. I'm like, look, y'all got to stop scaring these people. It's going to be okay. It's going to be okay. I saw a news headline that says that Jaguar Land Rover was going to pause imports to the USA. I'm like, how will we go on? How will we survive? How will we survive without this overpriced foreign junk called a Range Rover? Jaguar, Range Rover, Land Rover, any kind of Rover, whatever it is. Pieces of junk. And they've been like that for a long time. Mechanically, they're not necessarily that bad, but it can be bad mechanically, but they have like little ticky-tack things. Quality of life, just bad quality. The driver's side window don't roll down. You getting false lights on your dashboard. Your display's not working right. Little things like that in those overpriced vehicles. I bought American. I got a Ford F-150 built right there in Dearborn, Michigan, and I have a Ford Mustang. Ford F-150, Ford Mustang. American. An American company and American employees. Now, I know we have foreign plants here. We got a Volkswagen plant right up the road where I live. You have other foreign car brands building here. That's good. If they're building more here, that's good because that means jobs for Americans. It'd be even better if it was an American company, but if they're going to bring jobs here, that's good. When we import stuff from overseas, that's when the problem starts because we don't get the value of that company being American and being able to get tax revenue from them. We don't get that benefit, nor do we get the work benefit. So we get nothing but a cheap product. And some say, look, ABL, it's better to have a cheap product because you can't afford a made in America vehicle. Well, at a certain point, we can't just buy. We got to have productivity. We have to have the jobs. We can't just buy everything with no jobs, with no productivity to generate the revenue to buy it. All we become at that point is a debtor nation. We're taking out loans and credit cards and afterpay. I see some of y'all, not you guys watching, you guys have sense. I've seen people order Uber Eats on Klarna. I know what that is. Klarna is you can pay it in payments. Is that what it is? I've never used any of those things, Klarna or anything like that. I've never used that, but people are really doing that. You can't keep doing that forever. You have to be able to make money, produce things, be productive in society in order to spend money. You can't just spend money that doesn't exist. You can't just spend money that you don't have. You got to be able to produce things. So, and I like these tariffs because it's going to increase productivity. People are mad talking about, oh, he killed the stock market. Listen, if the market is down, here's something else. Here's what I want to say before we get to anything else, intros, videos, or whatever. Here's what I want to say. If you are invested into the stock market and you need that money right now, I think that might have been a mistake. I have money in the stock market that I don't need. It's over there. It does its own thing. If it's down, it's down. If it's up, it's up. And right now is, in my opinion, this is not financial advice, because I know some mouth breather going to try to sue me. ABL, give me bad financial advice. I lost my shirt. It's not financial advice. I'm just saying. Right now, in my opinion, it's the best time to buy. And there's no need to be a rocket scientist with this. I personally, I don't know about y'all, I'm getting some of these blue chip stocks. I'm buying Tesla. Yes, I am buying Tesla because people still need those electric vehicles. They still want EVs. Tesla is leading the way. I'm buying Tesla. I'm buying Apple. I'm buying Meta. I'm buying X, if that's public. I don't know if it is or not. I'm buying whatever I can get my hands on that I know will go up right now. And I'm buying a lot of it because it's cheap. This is a time where you have the ability to get rich as an average person. The stock market, also, if you get into the service industry, I didn't realize how many services that Americans pay for. All kind of services. And I said it on Twitter. I was like, many of us live like kings and we complain like we're still in slavery. You get gourmet meals made by a chef delivered right to your front doorstep. You have world-class education, world-class technology, smartphones, devices, all kinds of resources right at your fingertips. You have all of the world's knowledge right in the palm of your hand. You can access it whenever you want at any time for free. You have all these things, but yet you're like, I don't have anything. I'm so poor. I'm a slave. First world problems. Literal first world problems. I put a post on Twitter that kind of went viral a little bit where I was talking about some of you guys out there calling these services to assemble furniture for you. And I said, look, if you're a man and you're able-bodied, right? I ain't talking about if you're 85 years old, you hunched over, got a club foot, a bad back, a bad neck, if you're able-bodied and you call a man on the phone to come assemble an Amazon bookcase, I think you're gay. And as a matter of fact, I know gay dudes that can do that kind of work with no problem. So you're not even really gay because it's a lot of gay guys that can do that kind of stuff better than regular dudes. I think you're just soft in general. Not even gay, just soft. A bookcase? Come on, bro. You're talking about all you need is a screwdriver. You don't need no real tools, no power tools. You don't even need a drill. Get you a screwdriver and you're done. Some of these things you could just kind of like Lego it together. It'll click and you're done. If you call a man to do that, I think you're kind of gay. Some said, well, look, ABL, I'm just saving time. Saving time? How much time does that take? And with that extra time that you saved from putting together a bookcase from Amazon, what are you going to be doing? Binge watching TV? What do y'all watch on TV? I've not watched TV in 20 years. What's on TV? I don't know. The last TV show I really sat down and watched was The Wire. Aside from that, if I watch something, it's with somebody else. Hey, can we watch this? Okay, cool. But me personally, if you have time to binge watch TV, if you have time to watch football, basketball, whatever, you have time to assemble an Amazon bookcase. I'm not trying to say you got to be building something from scratch, go cutting wood. You ain't got to do all that. I can do that, but you don't got to do it. I'm talking about something simple, a screwdriver. If you are able-bodied and you can't work a screwdriver, I don't know. They still got TV? Hey, I suppose so. Yeah, but hey, don't nobody get offended. People talking about, oh, don't call them gay. Don't nobody get offended. Hey, you know what? If it don't apply, let it fly. And shout out to the LGBT homies in the chat who not offended. It's funny because I could say that and LGBT guys will understand what I'm talking about and they might not get offended. It'd be the regular normies who are not gay that are just soft that get offended. But anyway, that was on my mind and we got some videos that relate to that topic. But shout out to you guys for being here yet again. If you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up. Like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. If you are, hold on, I got distracted. If you like what you're hearing so far, give the video a thumbs up. Shout out to the sponsors. I got totally off track because of the audio issue in the beginning. My whole thing. Anyway, what do I normally say? I didn't forget now. I normally go into my thing. Oh, shout out to the sponsors, of course. PatriotPost.us, your best source of news and information anywhere on these interwebs. Their link will always be in the box. Or just go to PatriotPost.us in the browser and tell them that ABL sent you. Also, go to ablmerch.com. That is ablmerch.com. We got the hats, we got the t-shirts, we got the stickers, we got the hoodies and the mugs and more, plus new merch coming right there on the website. Check it out. Go there right now. I think I'm going to tag some of the products right here in the live stream so you'll be able to see it come up like right there in the bottom of the screen. You can just click it, get what you want, like this nice snazzy hat or whatever you want. You can click it right there and still watch the stream as it's going on. I'll probably do that right now. But of course, that link and the product button will be in the box. That is ablmerch.com. Also, please go to the regular website, anthonyblogan.com. That is ANTHONY, the letter B, LOGAN.com. Go to the front page of the website. You'll be able to find articles for each video that I produce. And in each article, I have sources from the left, from the right, from the center, from the politically agnostic, from the left, from the right, from local, national, international, whatever you want, I got it. As long as it's legal, it'll be right there on the website, anthonyblogan.com. Also, please go to the contact page of the website, anthonyblogan.com/contact us. There you'll be able to find my email address, my email address, my UPS box, of course, my social media accounts, my Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, never going to call it X, TikTok. All those links are right there on the contact page of the website, anthonyblogan.com/contact-us. And as I always say, if you're ever wondering if it's me you're conversing with on these interwebs or not, please use a little bit of common sense, but also check the method of communication. If it looks fishy, if it's 1,000 digits on the WhatsApp number, it's not me. You are being scammed. Please don't do that. It's 2025. Don't nobody got no time for that. All right. So we are getting ready to rock and roll. And I appreciate y'all for being here again. Hold on. I'm reading some of the comments. As far as the whole White House reporting thing, I've not heard back. I'm sure that everybody and their grandmama applied for that. So I don't really expect to get in there anytime soon. You know, that's kind of a shot in the dark. You're probably going to have 100,000 people that say, please pick me to be the White House correspondent. And that section they had opened up to the public. So we're going to see. Boomhower, I see what you posted right here. Boomhower says, a tornado went down the street in front of my house. It missed us. We have no electricity, but I'm watching you on my iPhone. More storms to come. Hey, man, we're right there. We probably get some of that next because I see the weather They're talking about thunderstorms starting late tonight, like 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock in the morning, and happening all day long. So hopefully you guys stay safe. Hopefully we stay safe out here. Hopefully all you guys stay safe from the storms. These storms ain't no joke, man. The tornadoes. Yeah, I got hit. I've been there. Hey, Boomhower, y'all know I've been there with a tornado before. Back in 2020, we got hit, but it was the same situation. It wasn't a direct hit on the house, but it was like right in our neighborhood. And you can hear that noise. It's like a train. And when you hear it once, you can't unhear it. And it was my very first time hearing it when it happened back then, but I knew what it was. There's a train that would come by, but it did not sound like that train. I knew it was a tornado. Got down to a lower level, tornado comes through. We come outside after, and it was a mess. It was a complete mess. Luckily, no trees fell on our house, although trees did fall in the neighborhood. One person's house had a really big front yard, like a long front yard, right? It was longer than it was wide. So it was a long distance from the actual road. It was a big old tree. Probably had been there since before it was a neighborhood. Probably had just been there as part of the forest. A big old tree fell toward the house, but it was the yard was so long that it didn't hit the house. I was like, man, y'all saved by the grace of God, because if that tree would have fell on the house, they would have died, because the tree was so big, you couldn't really do nothing with it. And it was crazy, man. Like that time, it was a mess. But yeah, you guys, please be safe out there. The tornadoes, weather threat is real. Have a plan to evacuate. Have a plan to be safe and have some, do a little bit of prepping. Have some food, water, all that kind of stuff. Don't go to the store getting the milk and eggs like everybody else do. I never understood that. You're going to go to the store to get milk when you about to have a tornado. Why? Get something that's going to be non-perishable. Get some water. Get something that's going to be some dry goods that you can use for an extended period of time. We had a hurricane in Virginia many years back, probably about 15, 20 years ago, or more than that. It probably was a long time ago. But we had a hurricane that hit, and certain places had no power for weeks. I'm talking about 2 to 3 weeks of no power. So, of course, they're going to need non-perishable items. They're going to need things they can just keep and use when needed that does not need constant refrigeration. Yeah, they might have to go out there and kill some squirrels or something to get something to eat. Powdered milk. Just get water, really. Just get some water. That's all you need is water. You don't need any milk. Just get water. Water and basic dry foods. Scott says, did you hear about the Trump administration starting a new thing called Podcast Row? Yeah. Yeah, that's what somebody was saying earlier. Somebody was asking me if I applied for it. Yeah, I applied for that right when he came in office. But that's going to be everybody and their grandmama applying for that. So it's kind of hard to get into. Now, speaking about getting into it, let's get to a few clips here. This is a pretty good video. The title is Democrats Hate Poor People, which I think is correct. Democrats don't like anyone who is not kind of on a higher level with them as far as income, education, and sometimes education does not mean income. And some of these people get upset when they have high education, but they have low income. They get upset at guys like me without that very high level of education, but I got a higher income than them. They get upset. Don't get upset, man. This is America. You can do the same thing I'm doing. You can't just rely upon your education to push you through. So let's watch this here.
Yesterday on Twitter, I revealed that some of the older people in my family who voted for Donald Trump don't have 401ks or pensions or stock portfolios. In fact, they don't have any retirement at all. They live solely on their Social Security checks. And I was talking about this on Twitter because I was trying to make a point that There have been decades of bad policies that have been perpetuated by both parties, but Democrats often like to blame this solely on Republicans when they have been just as complicit and just as involved in the destruction and the hollowing out of manufacturing all across this country, especially in the heartland, especially in the state that I come from, which is Missouri. And so I was trying to make the point that, a lot of people who had their lives ruined when Bill Clinton signed NAFTA, who, when Jimmy Carter deregulated the trucking industry and had 400,000 truckers laid off, and when Obama told people working in factories, sorry, your jobs just aren't going to be coming back anymore. Like, that's just the way it is. I was trying to make this point, like, don't expect us to weep for your stock portfolios when you weren't there for us when we lost our American dream. I was just shocked by the responses I got. People saying things like, your family's inbred, lazy, stupid. How did your family get so retarded? Just being absolutely malicious and spiteful, saying that they were financially illiterate, and also just in complete denial about the fact that the bottom 47% of 65 to 69-year-old adults in this country have no retirement.
Let's pause for a second. So the general idea here is, I'm sorry for the freeze frames. The general idea here is that Democrats hate poor people. She's talking about her family members. Many voted for Trump and they don't have much money. They don't have retirement. They're living on checks. And she's talking about this, and the Democrats are telling her, well, your family's retarded. They should have did this and that and the third. It's like, what happened to the tolerance? What happened to, we love poor people? What happened to, we appreciate the heartland of America? Whatever happened to that from the Democrats? Why are they so evil? Why are they so vindictive? Why are they so hateful? Again, a lot of them, it's a classist thing. They see themselves as superior and you as inferior. Superior because they have their fancy education and they may think or they may actually make more money. But what's happening right now is a lot of these people, a lot of these Democrats are losing that advantage they may have had. Government jobs going away. Okay, Democrat, you have great education, master's or PhD, whatever. What's your job, though? Like, what do you actually do for a living? Are you a doctor, lawyer, or do you count fraud hairs for a living in the federal government making $325,000 a year? Like, what do you actually do? They lose that job that's useless, that does not actually help this country go forward, and then they want to lash out at Trump and lash out at those that actually work for a living. They work very hard, working the fingers to the bone, breaking their back, doing all that. Why are you mad at them? It's a classist thing. They think that they are above us. So if they ever get humble and get kind of brought down to earth, now they want to lash out. It's like, welcome to reality. Welcome to reality where your job is not guaranteed by the federal government. They're talking about layoffs, talking about, oh, it's so bad. And I'm not trying to tap dance on somebody's grave after they get laid off. But why must we be so empathetic toward them when they don't do that for us? Why? I don't really understand. People get laid off, fired every day, and nobody cares. But if you count the number of goats on an alpaca farm in Wisconsin for a living, making $1 million a year, and you lose that job, oh well. And somebody said that Trump is one of us and he's a billionaire. Yes, Trump is one of us because he understands us. He understands human beings. And that's one thing a lot of those on the left don't really understand. They don't understand how to be a real human being. It's a classist thing. They look down upon people, and Trump does not do that. It doesn't matter who you are, what color you are. You're a person, and he respects you as a person, but they don't do that on their side. Now, this right here, we got a squatter story. I don't know how we keep having so many squatters. Listen, So this person squatted in the Airbnb. People always tell me, you should get into real estate, ABL, buy some real estate, get some tenants. I don't really want to deal with tenants. I don't want to deal with some of y'all. Not you guys watching, but you know what I'm talking about. Some of your relatives that like to smoke crack. And if I was to get into real estate, it's got to be some really big ticket type situation. Like the rent got to be like $5,000 a month. Like it needs to be really and if you're going to be a tenant, I'm going to go through your background. I might hire a private investigator because I'm not trying to get a crack smoker or a potential crack smoker in my home, nor do I want a squatter in there. So look, this guy is squatting in an Airbnb. Let's check it out.
That's nothing to do really with the homeowner about that day that you were supposed to check out.
I understand.
Brian's communicating with you and he's saying, look, you know, he gave you some couple days and said the $200 you can get to me. I read all that. And then you didn't leave.
No.
And then you didn't leave.
That's
then
not
he
true at all.
He gave you a 3-day notice, he
what
said.
What can he do? He requested money for damages?
No. I have it right here. I've read it like 6 times. We need to see the condition of this property and see where we're at with any kind of damages. Because right now you're defrauding an innkeeper. It's a penal code for not paying. And
look, you know what? I'm going to pause it right there. Here's what I'm saying. Here's what I would do in a situation. I'm going to call not the police, not Ghostbusters. I'm going to call some of the boys. If you know, you know. I'm going to call some of the boys like, yo, this house right here on X, Y, and Z Street, they got some stuff. They got some high-value items on the inside. Hey, go ahead and throw a party for them, a surprise party. I'm going to call the boys, and it's going to be a surprise party in your house. Okay? I know right where they at. They write down this particular way. I give them a ringy-ding-ding, and they're going to be at your front doorstep at 3 a.m. Now, hopefully ain't no kids in there because it's going to get a little scary. And that would be an alleged thing that I would do. If anybody's listening, if the federalists listen, I'm not going to do that for real. But I would do that. I'm sending the boys to your house, and maybe at that point you get the message. I'm coming to you talking about, oh, it's the penal code, and he's not trying to hear that. He's a squatter. He does not want to leave. You're trying to call the police, they dragging their feet. Oh, we got to get the sheriff and this and that. How about I call the boys? Yo, and then that might get something going. That might get it going. You gonna call the police, tell them something, oh, if you call the police after the boys pay you a visit, you're probably going to be outside the home trying to escape. Now you can stay out. Problem solved. Problem solved. But see, that's why I don't really want to get into having tenants and stuff like that, because I don't want to activate the boys, because these guys, they're not going to really understand nuance. They're not going to understand the situation. They're going to go full throttle. They're going to go full throttle. So yeah, that's going to be overall bad for everybody. Now, I have never seen this device before. Have you guys seen this before? So listen, back to what I was saying about a lot of people in this country being very soft. This guy, I suppose, is some kind of not fast food, like a gas station employee. He has a trash bag lifter to put one bag of trash into a dumpster. I've never in all my days seen such a thing. Let's watch.
Bro, there's no way that's a real thing. Bro, we are slaving away over here. My guy's got it.
Now look, if you use that device to take out a bag of trash, and it wasn't even like you got bricks and rocks and you got like regular trash, paper, plastic, little pieces of food, stuff like that. You got that in there. I'm like, bro, come on. You can't be doing that, man. Look, If I see one of y'all using that, I'm calling the police. I would like, look, man, you cannot do that kind of stuff, man. You can't do that. I've never. And I've worked in a place where we had to take out trash before. Old Country Buffet. Oh, them days. Listen, this guy would not last one day in the back of the house or the restaurant. We got the big trash cans, 128 gallon or whatever it is, big trash cans filled to the top, and they heavy. And you got to lift it like using your whole body to lift. You got to get down, squat down with your knees, get both sides with your arms, and then push your whole body up. Get the trash can to the lip of the dumpster, and then get up under the bottom and then push more to dump it. You got to get inside the trash can to finish and lift it up and out. Or you got the grease. Have you ever done that? You got this big stainless steel pot, and you have grease in there to take out to the outside little grease receptacle. And it might be hot. You can move it to a place and let it cool down. Or I was a rebel. I take it out when it's still hot. And it might kind of splash a little bit and get on you. That right there, I would never do that. Like that just, I've never seen it. I have never seen it before. But hey, if you have one of those in the house as a able-bodied keyword man, please throw it away. And matter of fact, this is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna send you 2-3 years Dagestan with this guy, train with him, and forget about it. That's what I would do. Some of these kids acting up in public places, want to go crash out, want to become transgender, don't know who they are. Go with Khabib over there to Dagestan in Russia. Go over there for a while, and you will get a different kid when they come back to you, in my humble opinion.
Brother, if you want your son high-level wrestling, send him 2-3 years Dagestan and forget.
3 years?
Yes.
Yeah, you're out of your fucking mind. 2 weeks.
6 months,
2 weeks
one time you can call him.
2 weeks.
See, Frankie Edgar going to son for 1 month.
Yeah.
Brother.
So yeah, so then Dagestan, that's what I would do. That's my solution. Is go over there, and then it's a lot of the Antifa people, a lot of the protesters and whatnot may not be doing as much as what they're doing if they could get a little bit of toughening up. Now, the Canadians, this right here is when you don't go to Dagestan. This is right here when you don't have any kind of real training. You're going to be looking like the Canadian military. Shout out to the Canadians. You guys who watch the show, you guys who I see quite a bit in the chat, you guys are great people. But I don't want to hear your leaders talking to us about anything, trying to talk tough. It's like, you're talking tough? Really? You guys talking tough? Why? For what? Like, it's not even necessary. There's no reason to do that. We're not trying to invade. So I don't understand what the purpose of all the tough talk is. I don't really get it. It's weird. So yeah, shout out to the Canadians. Now look, coming back to America. There's been quite a few protests where things have gotten violent, and it's weird because the left will say that the KKK is the biggest threat to black people, to America, to race relations. When's the last time the KKK has attacked anybody in this country? When's the last time the Klan has done anything? That's a relic of the past. Being worried about the KKK is like being worried about the nuclear bomb from the Cold War dropping on us. If you're still living in fear of the Klan, you still practice bomb drills like we're about to get hit by Russia. It's just not really a threat anymore. There is, however, there are people out here who are a threat, who are active. Antifa and the people that are around them, the similar people. And it looks something like this, okay? This right here is kind of your average protester that might want to do something to you. Oh yeah, I saw Tatum. Tatum had to fight somebody. Savannah had to fight somebody. Let's watch.
You piss me the f*** off.
Okay.
You don't belong here. This hateful doesn't belong here. And all of y'all that believe this, get your heads on straight. You are reason why we are falling apart as a fucking country.
Gotcha.
And I don't want to hear, oh, do you know the percentage of that happens every fucking day?
Didn't say didn't.
I don't want that.
Doesn't matter. You came to me. We're in a public area.
Okay, so should I break the camera then?
Give me a break.
You piss me.
Okay, so the context, this is somebody that is in favor of abortion. And because the young man right here is not in favor of it and says it's murder, which it is, she wants to crash out, breaking the camera, all that kind of stuff, right? See, that right there is the kind of person you got to watch out for. Ain't no Klan robe, ain't no cross burning. Irregular normie, that's them right there. Those would be the dangerous people you got to worry about. Not the Klan or white supremacists or far right people. It's not them, it's them. That's the danger right now in the USA. And it's been like that for a long time too. So all the talk about the Klan and stuff like that is old school. It's really old school. Now, speaking about violence, speaking about abortion, shout out to Savannah Craven. I've met her a few times. Nice young lady. I believe she's married. She got married kind of recently. So shout out to her. Congrats on the marriage. Now, she is an anti-abortion activist. She goes around and she preaches a message of life. And she does a good thing. It's a good thing for humanity, put it to you that way. But some don't like it. She's out here doing interviews, talking about abortion, and it went a different way.
Channel?
Yeah, we're doing some interviews today. Such a good vibe.
Now, that was pretty quick. That's a lot that happened right there. We're going to watch a little bit more to see what led up to that.
Should we kill the kids in foster care?
Why not? Why not, if that's the case?
We should kill the kids in foster care that aren't wanted?
Who's going to take care of them? I need to know the percentage of people who take children from foster care and abuse them and molest them, who make them like personal slaves.
We should just kill them.
Statistics before you come to me talking about pro-life.
We should kill the victims of molestation.
I think... What does this have to do with molestation?
You just mentioned people molesting children. We should kill the kids in foster care is what you said.
What I'm saying is in general, overall. If I don't want to have a baby, I should have the choice to.
Just don't have sex then.
Even as teens, people explore. And it's like, as funny as you want to be, people should still have the choice.
Let's pause for a minute. Now, I am 40 years old. No children. How did I do that? It's not that difficult. There's all kinds of ways to prevent having the baby. You got protection, you got abstinence, you got self-control. It's real simple.
I think that you just don't understand the magnitude of having a child.
I'm not the one who admitted they would be okay with killing babies in foster care and killing children that have been abused.
That's not the point. What I'm saying.
That's really...
Okay, so now all of that because there's disagreement about abortion and things of this nature. Now, Savannah got kind of bloodied up here. She got bloodied up. All right, let's watch this.
Yeah, the dress, woman, look how missed it. Look to the right. No, she's not them.
She's big. She's tall.
And she had worn a light coat.
So what happened, the girl hit her with her fist, but she also had her phone in her hand, hit her with the phone. So that's probably what gave her the cut over her eyes, hitting them with the phone. That's a pretty hard thing to get hit with when it's fast like that and you don't really expect it. Now, the girl who did this responded because we found her, well, not me, but the internet, we as the internet have found the woman that did this. And she said, look, well, there's two sides of the story. She was antagonizing me. I know I can't put my hands on her, but she was antagonizing me with the questions. So because she antagonized me, that caused me to crash out. Now, what do y'all think? Do you think the line of questioning that Savannah was asking this woman is an excuse for the woman to put her hands on her, punch her in the face, hit her in the head with the phone. Listen, you could be upset with me. That's totally fine. You might not like what I say, but don't put your hands on me, because now we're going somewhere else. We can have a discussion. We can have a debate. It can get heated, but don't put your hands on me. Don't do anything like that, because now we got to go somewhere else. Let's just keep it simple as having a conversation. We can get heated. We can get high voices, but don't touch me. Do not touch me. So yeah, shout out to Savannah. Again, that's Savannah Craven. Getting hit by that lady, I believe in New York City, after there was a discussion about abortion rights. Now, here we are again. This is UC Davis, California, of course, right? Now, here we have like an organized mob of these individuals, of the Antifa types. And again, I'm to be told that the threat is the Ku Klux Klan, although they've not been active since the 1960s, probably before then. Antifa is a 99% white group who have been terrorizing their country for years now, at least 10 years, probably more than 10 years. But at least going back to 2015, they've been a problem in society. Here they are again doing the exact same thing they do all over the country. This time, my friend Brandon Tatum is in the middle of it. Check it out.
Hey, Jackson, hold up.
Now you can see Tatum right there with the red hat. Okay, you can see him with the red hat. Pretty big guy, so he stands out pretty easily.
Come on, please, get in there. Get in there.
So what they did was they came and took the tent and all the signs and everything else. And the police are just sitting there like, what did we do? I don't know what the police were able to do. Were they told to stand down, don't intervene, just observe? What were the police there for? If this mob can just come and take your tent and all your stuff, and you're just watching it, what are you there for if you're the police? So yeah, that's what they do over there in California. California sucks. I hate it. If you guys live there, shout out to you. But that kind of activity, I'm good. I am good. I don't want nobody to touch me. I don't want nobody to be aggressive toward me, taking my stuff. I just don't want nothing to do with it. Okay? Yeah, Tatum is big. You know, he played football before. He almost went to the NFL. And he played college football, of course. So shout out to Tatum for holding his ground against these ridiculous people. But again, this group, these are the guys who are the threat in society. There is no more Klan. If the Klan does exist, these guys ain't doing nothing but drinking beers on Saturday, talking about old war stories. There's no more Klan anymore. It's them. That's the threat. So when I hear people talking about white racists and I know they're talking about an 80-year-old talking point. They're not up to date at all with society. Now, we got some more of these liberals. This is now Senator Josh Hawley dealing with them. And of course, she has on the Gaza t-shirt. It's the weirdest thing in the world. They say that they love Gaza. They want to protect Gaza. But if they go to Gaza, there will not be a warm welcome. So I'm trying to figure out what's the purpose of them doing this. I don't get it. Is it because they watch too much TV? I think it's TV. These people believe whatever they see on television. That's why they're so scared about tariffs, because if you watch TV, you know, I glance at the news, like the normie news occasionally. I glance at it. I glance at normie YouTube. It is fear-mongering to the max. Fear-mongering to the max. Basically, the headlines say, Trump's tariffs means that we're going to die tonight. That's how bad they are making it seem. So I think these people like this, they are brainwashed by whatever they see on television. Let's watch this. Again, this is Senator Josh Hawley being confronted by some of these pro-Gaza people. Check it out.
Israel should go to your people. Aren't you America first?
China lover. Oh, you're China first.
Are you America first?
You're China first.
Why are you sending
and
billions
you are the one
of
who
the
is
taxpayers' dollars
condemning
to
the Uyghurs to blood and death as you take their money.
Are you America
their
first?
money supports
are
your
you America
organization.
First?
Your
I
money
think this guy
supports.
is
Listen,
Israel first.
I please you will post this. I hope you'll post this.
He deflects.
You
what
are
he just voted
a Chinese agent.
Was
you have the blood of
35,
Uyghurs on your hands.
You're a baby killer.
Oh no, you're a baby killer.
You're a baby
the Uyghur
killer.
babies, their blood is
How
on your hands.
many bombs did you
the
just
blood
vote
of the
to?
Chinese
You
is
just
on your
voted
hands.
Now look, there are separate issues going on here. You could be against foreign war without being pro one side or the other. Okay, if I'm against foreign war, I'm not going to be like, yeah, I'm pro-Gaza or yeah, I'm pro-Israel. I'm just against foreign war, period. I'm not going to be coming into DC wearing a pink Gaza shirt with a pink terrorist scarf on. Like, where they do that at? I'm not going to be doing that. I'll just say, I don't like foreign war. I don't like foreign war funding. I don't care who the country is. Uzbekistan, Israel, Thailand, Antarctica. I don't care what country, what continent, what landmass, what body of water. I'm against foreign war, period. But yeah, shout out to you. I want to see you wear that same outfit right now in Gaza Strip and see how that goes for you. Wear that same outfit with the pink. Wear that right now in Gaza. All right. Why do they call them Hawley? It's Hawley. Tomato. What's the difference? You know what I'm talking about. If you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up. Like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. This was a good one. I kind of had missed it, but I saw it recently. An HHS worker approached, who is this? I want to get the name right. Is it a senator, House Rep? Senator Jim Banks from Indiana. Okay. Republican, of course, senator from Indiana, Jim Banks, is approached by a former HHS worker talking about, I got laid off. I was fired illegally. What are you going to do about it? And you got to see Mr. Banks' response. All right, let's check it out and start from the top.
A worker at HHS. I was fired illegally on February 14th. There are many people who are not getting social service programs, especially people with disabilities. Are you going to do anything to stop what's happening?
You probably deserved it.
I deserved it?
You probably deserved it.
I deserved it.
Dude,
wow.
Sad.
Yeah, that's great to hear. Why did I deserve it?
Because you seem like a clown.
Okay, sir, you shouldn't have said that.
A worker at HHS. I was fired.
Hey, hold on. That was perfect. That was perfect. Because, I mean, what he said right there, a lot of us feel. You probably deserved it. You appear like, you seem like a clown. Yeah. And he said it straight face. Like, I'm being for real. I'm not playing around. I'm being dead serious. So again, shout out to my man. What's his name? Jim Banks. I want to say his name right. His name, Jim Banks from Indiana, U.S. Senator. Shout out to him. That was fantastic. Love that one. Okie dokie. Now, speaking about the laws, the federales and whatnot, I don't like how illegal aliens feel comfy being able to go outside and say, yeah, I'm here illegally. Listen, if you are publicly exclaiming that you're here illegally, to me, it's like you're taunting immigration services. Y'all know me. Hey, immigration, Tom Homan, Donald Trump, JD Vance, come get her. She right here at the microphone. You can't miss her. Come get her right now. Watch this.
My name is Gracia Martinez Rosas. I am an immigrant. I am undocumented, unafraid, queer, and unashamed.
Why they got to add the queer part in there? Like, was that needed? Did I need to, like, for real, you know what? It's a thing called oversharing, right? Where you just tell me too much information that I didn't really want to know. Okay, you're here illegally. Again, come get her. You know where she at. She right there. You can't miss her. But then you got to add that you're queer. Do I care? Does that matter that you're queer? I don't care. Contrary to popular belief, I think the majority of humans do not care about your sexual activity. I promise. Contrary to popular belief, most humans don't care what you do in your bedroom. That's your business. That is your business. I don't really care. Why I got to know about that? And how is it relevant to you being here illegally? I don't care if you gay, straight, black, white. Illegal immigrant means illegal immigrant. Go back over there. Tom Homan, come get her. So yeah, shout out to her. Now, this is a bus of people leaving from Atlanta to Washington, D.C. to protest. So they're not even really trying to hide it. They're telling you, we're being bused. There's some funding going on, because if they're being bused to D.C., are they staying in hotels? Who's paying for the bus? Who organized this event? They're not hiding it anymore. These so-called protests are not organic. And a lot of them travel from place to place. They might be in Atlanta. They might be West Coast. They're going to travel all over the country, so-called protesting. Let's watch.
The people united will never be defeated. The people united will never be defeated. The people united will never be defeated.
So there you go. And you can see the race makeup, even from Atlanta, which is Wakanda. Even from Atlanta, we got Pippi Longstocking and her friends on the bus, but a few black folks sprinkled in. Okay. Annie, Pippi Longstocking, I don't know what's going on right here, but these are the folks that'll be at a protest. All right. That's the general audience right there. Even again, from ATL, the Black Mecca, you can't even find 5 black folks to go do that for you. This is a majority white organization, majority white movement, and they often have protests that devolve into violence, that become riots. But again, I'm to be told, hey, the KKK still's out there. Be concerned about them. Why? I see the enemy. It's right here, right in front of my face. I can see him. That's the threat right there. So yeah, shout out to them being bussed in. Probably some money's behind it, big money's behind it, of course. Now, they may have been gone. They may have gone to this event right here. This is a big protest in D.C. calling for a global intifada. And you see the Palestine flag right there, big Palestine flag.
That is the battle between good and evil. Netanyahu was right when he said this is a war between light and darkness. He only got the sides mixed up.
So there we go. I mean, look, I don't really get it. I don't really understand. I think at a certain point, they don't get it either. I think they're being paid to do this. That's why they're out there. Some of them are being brainwashed by television, social media, and others are being paid. That's what's going on out there with these protests. Now, this is Boston. Okay, anti-Trump protests in Boston. Look at this. Look at this.
A live look at Boston, Massachusetts now as we check back in on one of our top stories, anti-Trump protests taking place across the country today after a tumultuous week, to say the least, on Wall Street and the economy. We want to point out, just a few minutes ago, we did show you a protest. We said it was Boston. It was not Boston. It was an unrelated protest. But what you are looking at right now is Boston, and I'm from there. I can recognize this. This is the plaza right outside of City Hall.
What's going on with this camera? Like, I'm seeing like weird, like it's kind of smoky or kind of blurred. are these clouds of weed smoke from the protests? Like, what's happening with these people? I don't know what's going on, but that's a pretty big crowd. And for what, though? I don't really understand. I'm sure there's going to be a lot of illegal aliens in there, criminals. Yo, they right there in Boston. Go get them. If you bring a few guys from ICE, you're going to get some hits on some wanted individuals right there in the crowd. Go get them. Is it rain? Is that what it is? Or AI? Yeah, something going on. But that came from ABC News Live. That's an official, it's an official video. So if it's AI, you can see that right here. You can see that's a verified symbol. That gold, that's definitely verified right there as an organization. So if this is fake, then that means ABC is posting fake videos. Now, they said this is one of 1,200 other protests unfolding in all 50 states across the country. Okay. So will that impact the election in the midterms or in 2028? Is that going to impact it? I'm not quite sure that it will. Now, you know what's funny? A lot of these individuals that protest, quote unquote, have on Ukraine stickers and Ukraine flags and Ukraine this and Ukraine that. They love Volodymyr Zelensky. They love that particular part of the world. They hate Vladimir Putin. But guess what, though? The reality of Ukraine is a little bit different than what they may think. They live in America and have not really traveled. All they know is the USA. All they know is their particular home, their area in which they live, in which they grew up in. But they don't know what Ukraine is like. Now, this is a video in Odessa of soldiers trying to capture an unwilling citizen. Why? Well, they still have conscription in Ukraine, which means you can get drafted to war. And why would you want to go die in the war? You know you're going to die or get injured. You're not going to succeed as a Ukrainian. You know that. So why would you want to go do it? Let's watch this.
Никогда не убегай с того места, где тебя оберегают и любят. И заботятся. Никогда.
So look, why would you want to be part of this? Why would you support this war? You know it's not going anywhere. You know it's a proxy war. You know that Ukrainians are dying just all the time, every day. Russians too, but Ukrainians also. In my opinion, if you support this war, you support the endless death of Ukrainians and Russians. The war needs to come to an end. It shouldn't be continued. We shouldn't be funding this war because all we're doing is paying for Ukrainians to die and Russians. So yeah, shout out to the Ukrainians. Hey, if you are Ukrainian and you're a man, just stay in the, just don't, if you're Ukrainian and you're a man and you're not in Ukraine, stay wherever you are or go somewhere else, but do not go back to Ukraine because that, hey, running through the streets, trying to escape these soldiers, that might be you. That might be you. And if you can't see the actual screen, you got a bunch of guys chasing one person. And the guys are in uniform. You got soldiers chasing one regular civilian, trying to get him conscripted to go die in the war. Yeah, not a fan at all. Now, this video is pretty interesting. I want y'all to hear him out. And yeah, I think we got to just play it. Let me just read the caption, but hear him out and listen to what he's saying because it might make a little bit of sense. So it says Minnesota police chief now claiming the Tesla vandal might actually be the victim. So here's what happened. A Tesla vandal keyed up a car or drew something on it. You know how they love drawing swastikas, racist stuff, right? Racist symbols. The person was found on social media. It's a whole bunch of hate going toward the individual. Now, there's an agreement between the person and the actual victim who had their car damaged. The guy or the girl, whoever it was, will pay the damage, and that's it. The car owner says, pay the damage, making me whole. We're good money. There's nothing else to really pursue. Now, the police chief is saying that the vandal, the person who damaged the Tesla, is in some sense a victim. Let's watch.
Bloomington Chief Hodges here. Showed you this video last week of this person scratching his Tesla. And like SpongeBob said here, 1 day later, thanks to everybody's help, we were able to identify them. The suspect here is a woman in their late 20s. They turned themselves in. They were brought in.
Is this they, them pronouns? What are we doing here, boss?
With their family. They've been fully cooperative. The victim in this case just wanted their car fixed, and they just wanted the suspect to pay for that. Based on the totality of the circumstances here, and along with our core value of being compassionate, this is the best outcome for everybody involved in this case. But let me be clear here. In Bloomington, you probably have never heard me utter these words. The suspect in this case may have been a victim. And I mean victim in terms of the rhetoric that is being spewed out here by some of those in leadership.
Let's pause. So he's saying that the person who keyed the car is or could be in some sense a victim herself because of the leadership and what they're saying. Let's let him finish, but then I'm going to expound on that.
We need our leaders to start leading and stop feeding this rhetoric. People should be able to drive whatever car they want without fear of going into a store and someone scratching their car or people yelling at them because of the car that they choose to drive.
So basically, he's saying that the media and the political people, leftists, inspire the person who scratched the car up to do that. And I think to a certain extent, he's correct. I'm not saying the person who did it has no responsibility and no accountability. I don't want to say that at all. The person who did this needs to be held accountable, which is why she's paying for the damage. However, it's the media. It's people, when you watch MSNBC, ABC, all the alphabet letter news outlets, when you hear from the politicians, it's so much hate toward Elon, so much hate toward Tesla. A lot of these weak-minded, simple individuals, normies, are now inspired to go out there and do something to these vehicles because of what they're hearing from leadership. And again, let's be clear. I'm not trying to make excuses for the person that did this, but we all know that these are weak-minded people and they're being encouraged. The leaders put a battery in their back and give them license to go out there and do that. They think they're doing the right thing, but they're doing the wrong thing. So yeah, what do y'all think? Does he have a point? Does it make any sense? I know some of y'all don't like that, but I think what he's saying is right. And I'm gonna say one more time for the folks in the back. There's no excuse what the person did. No excuse at all, but we know why it's happening. It's because of the media. I've been saying that the media are the reason why there's all this hate toward Elon, because before the election, there was no hate toward Elon. A lot of these liberals bought Teslas before the election. Now they say, I hate Elon and I'm going to sell my Tesla. Why? It's because of the media. It's because of the politicians. When they're hammering into weak-minded people's minds over and over again, all day long, 24/7, Elon bad, Elon bad, Elon bad, Tesla bad, Tesla bad, Tesla bad, they're going to react to it. It's very simple. If they would stop the rhetoric, the incidences of the Teslas being keyed up, bombed up would stop, or it'll slow down a lot. Put it to you that way. And you know what? I told y'all this. YouTube does not like when I do some of these Tesla protest videos and I get the yellow monetization. Why are they doing that? It's because they're trying to discourage us from showing it, because when we show it, it makes it worse. In many ways, a lot of these leftists, they're like children. If a child sees you do something, they're going to want to copy it. Whatever you do, they're like sponges. They're going to want to copy it. These leftists, they just like that. They're 25 years old, but they're childlike mentally. They're easily manipulated into doing things like this. So that's the whole point there. All right. So what do y'all think? Y'all think that I got a point? That I don't have a point? Hold on. Tommy Two Gun says 1, anger. 2, stir promotion. 3, shame, dissent. 4, point at target. 5, make them feel righteous. Exactly. There it is right there. It's a plan. It's a whole big plan. That's all. And one more time, no excuse for what they did, but it's pretty obvious to see why this happened. Now, let's go to something else here. I showed this character before, Chase Strangio, which is the most ridiculous name. It's like, look, bro, or sis, whatever. And if you don't know, this right here is a biological woman who now identifies as male. It's so weird. You know, when I was young, if you were a woman that had like a beard or a mustache, you were trying to like get rid of that, try to pluck it and just try to like move the mustache. But now it's like it's cool to have a mustache and the beard as a woman. I don't know what's going on. But anyway, this person I played before who said that it's not really a real thing that men are impersonating women and competing against them in sports. That's not really a real thing. That's not really happening. Let's play that, and then let's hear the reality of what's happening with men and women's sports. Check it out.
The policies that are claiming that transgender women in sports are men are wrong. The president is lying when he says that there are men impersonating women and participating in women's sports. There are no examples of men impersonating women that I am aware of.
She said when she first heard about Leah Thomas at the University of Penn, who was ranked 500 and something in men's swimming, and then goes to a national champion. And she said, do you know how hard it is to compete on a Division I level? Exactly. Where if I'm in the blocks and I'm looking down, I'm about to run the 800, and I got to see somebody who's basically like Bill, like Jamar Chase, like 2 blocks down. I know I'm losing no matter what I do. And you're right. It's an 80-20 issue. New York Times has it 79% oppose this particularly happening at this point. UN study shows that trans athletes competing in women's sports have won 900 medals that women otherwise would have won.
Whoa. That last part, let's hear the last part one more time. A UN study shows that trans athletes competing in women's sports have won 900 medals that women would have won. One more time.
Happening at this point. UN study shows that trans athletes competing in women's sports have won 900 medals that women otherwise would have won. That means scholarships. That means endorsements. That's common sense that nobody likes.
The policy.
900 medals, man. I mean, come on. Like, bro. And here's something else. As I said, you do have so-called trans men that exist. Like this character right here, Miss Chase, Mr. Chase, whatever the pronouns are. This is a biological woman who identifies as a man. That's a trans man. But these characters never try to compete against actual men in sports. They never do it. It's always men who impersonate women who go and compete against women in women's sports. It's always like that. Why? Because it's an advantage. It's so obvious. I don't understand why it's even the conversation to have. I got to convince somebody that's an obvious thing. It's pretty clear. Now, this person, what's this guy's name? Is it Sarah or Tim? I don't know what it is. This is a transformer also in Congress. I don't know how we even allow that. Look, if I could just be the ruler of the country, I would not allow you to be transgender and serve in the government at all, period. But here we are.
Republican leadership is throwing a temper tantrum. They just canceled votes for the rest of the week, shutting down the floor of the House of Representatives for the next several days, all in an effort to stop the House from allowing new parents in Congress to vote by proxy so they can spend time with their new babies or recover from childbirth. Over the last several months, there has been a bipartisan effort to allow new parents in Congress to spend time with their new babies and to vote by proxy. House Republican leadership has tried to stop this effort every step of the way. Today, they actually just lost a vote trying to prevent proxy voting from coming to the floor. And because they lost that vote, they're taking their ball and going home. They're canceling all of the votes moving forward this week. Now, granted, what they were putting on the floor for the rest of the week is not good stuff, so we should be grateful that the harm is reduced. But it's amazing that the Republican Party, which used to pride itself on being pro-family, is so anti-baby, so anti-family, so pro-forced birth, but not pro-supporting parents, that they would shut down the House of Representatives just to keep new parents, new moms, new dads from being able to spend time with their babies.
So it's moms and dads, because you started it all talking about the moms being able to recover, all that and the third. Now it's the dads too. See, now you're just playing games. And for real, I kind of resent that, because it sounds like you want an excuse to not actually show up to work in person. I don't like that. Look, we paying you a pretty penny, and you get all kind of extra side monies from being in the government. So go to work and actually do your job. Like, go in the actual office. All you got to do is vote. That's all you got to do is vote. Just do that. Like, I'm not trying to hear it. And it's the same thing with people like John Fetterman. Oh, he had a brain injury. So what? You can put on the suit and tie. Because when Benjamin Netanyahu came, he had on the suit and tie. He dressed real nice for the big man. But for us, just regular people, I put on my basketball shorts and my Carhartt hoodie and some Timberland boots, some New Era. I put on whatever, New Balance, New Era, whatever. I don't care about y'all. I don't like that. I don't like that. If you're going to be a government official. All right. But if you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up. Like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. Now, look, this right here was great. This woman is my hero. Her name, let me get her name right. I believe her name is Stephanie Turner. Stephanie Turner was at a fencing competition in Maryland. It's a tournament that she goes to yearly. But this year, rather than her fencing against a woman, it was a man pretending to be a woman. And rather than having this fight, she took a knee and got black carded and got disqualified. So, as you see, she took the knee, refused to compete, got black carded, which means she got disqualified from the actual tournament because she doesn't want to have to compete against this biological man right here. Okay, you see the man? Hold on, let me see, like, without him, that's a man right there. I'm not going to fight you in this jousting match because I'm a woman. You're a man. It's not right. Now, this was a really crazy story because Ms. Turner spoke out to the media and she told Fox News what that man told her and what the ref told her. Let's watch.
Stands up for fairness in women's sports. She did it by taking a knee and refusing to compete against a biological male at a tournament over the weekend. The referee's response, a black card, the sport's most severe penalty, which means expulsion from the tournament. Let's bring in the athlete at the center of it all, Stephanie Turner. And Stephanie, thanks so much for being with us. We really appreciate it.
Thanks for having me.
So this was an Olympic qualifying event. My understanding of it is. This was something that you had prepared all your life for. It wasn't an Olympic qualifying event? I'm sorry. I had heard that this morning.
No, it wasn't.
It was an important event, though. And this is something that you've been preparing for an awfully long time. you decided that you were going to take yourself out of the tournament. What was the thinking in leading up to the decision where you took a knee?
Right. So this was actually a regional tournament held by the USFA at the University of Maryland. So part of my pre-competition ritual is to check the online registration to see who is going to be there and just double check my check-in times. And on the registration list, I saw Redmond Sullivan's name listed there. And I recognized this individual from a previous Redux article that had been written stating that this person was a man who had previously competed on the men's team at Wagner and was now competing as a woman within the USFA.
Now, I did thumbs up right there because I like how she's saying this is a man. All this, trans that. No, this person, Redmond Sullivan, is a man. That's what we need to say because it's too confusing. That you're a man or a woman. Let's just say that. And if someone says they're a woman when they're not a woman, call them out and say, no, you're not a woman, you're a man. Same thing. If you get an Ellen Page calling herself Elliot, it's like, okay, Ellen, you are a woman.
So from that point, I just got really disappointed with the USFA and with this tournament, and I just felt like at a loss. I'd already committed so much money to it and training hours, and I was literally looking forward to this. I do this tournament every year. Yeah. I think this may be like my 10th year in a row doing this tournament. And I just got really sad and I started crying because this was like the last thing I wanted to deal with in my competition.
So at one point in the video, we see you take a knee, and then the official comes over. What did you say to the official at that point?
So the official came over to me and asked if I was still refusing defense, and I said yes. Oh, and are you talking about initially, yes, or when I got the black card?
No, initially.
Initially, I told them that I was refusing defense because this person is a man and I am a woman and this is a women's tournament and I refuse defense on principle.
And then later, right after this, we see your opponent comes over. What did you say to your opponent at that point?
My opponent was a little bit confused, thinking that I was maybe hurt. And I said, no, I am refusing defense you because I'm a woman and you are a man. I have much love and respect for you, but I will not compete against you.
Wow.
And he responded, okay, well, there's a, yes.
Yeah, I was just going to say, I'm sorry, what was his response?
His response was, okay, but there's a member of the board of directors here, and he supports me, and there's a policy that says that I'm a woman and I'm allowed to compete in the women's tournament, and if you do this, you're going to get black carded. And I said,
so look, so the guy is threatening her, talking about, look, well, I got somebody with me, I got backup with me, and if you don't want to do this, you're going to get black carded and you're going to get disqualified. So is that what we do as men? Look. And again, shout out to Stephanie Turner. You're my hero. If nobody else has told you that, I'm going to say that right now. I'm going to say it again. I said it in my video. I'm going to say it every day. You're my hero. But I don't care if a man is gay, straight, whatever. Is that what we do as men? We threaten women? Is that what we do? Like, I don't condone that at all. I don't like that. Whatever you want to identify, that's your business, man. But threatening women as a man, that's just not it, man. Like, you're still a man at the end of the day. You may feel gay or whatever. That's fine. That's totally fine how you feel on the inside about yourself. But you still got to be a man. And you threatening women as a man, I find that to be abhorrent. You're like the worst kind of person if you do something like that, man. I put you on the same level as child abusers. People like this, man, like the lowest of the low. People that beat up women and hurt children. I have a special place for them in that spot down up under there. That's if you know what I'm talking about. Now, to fast forward a little bit and show something better. So Texas has approved Bible lessons in school. All right. Now, I'm going to play this and I'm going to hear your feedback. Is it a good thing that we have in-school Bible lessons?
This morning, for the first time ever, public school curriculum infused with Bible lessons will be allowed and rewarded.
8-7, the motion passes.
The Texas Board of Education narrowly approved new state-authorized curriculum for 2.3 million public school students from kindergarten through 5th grade, starting next year. Material being taught includes the Golden Rule, using lessons from the Bible and referring to the Bible as a series of ancient texts. This morning,
so what do y'all think? Is it a good idea, bad idea? Now, I don't think they're going to get they probably won't get too deep into the Bible. They probably won't have like full-on Bible study, but they're going to kind of give you the like the beginner, golden rule, 10 commandments, stuff like that. If they can do that, that'd be good. Because I think we did learn that in school. Maybe we didn't, I don't know. But I do remember learning that. Definitely the 10 commandments. That's thou shalt not steal. Those kind of things you should be learning in school. To get deeper than that, I'm not really sure. Y'all let me know. What do y'all think? Good idea, bad idea? And again, this is public school, not a Catholic school or nothing like that. This is regular old public school. So y'all let me know what you think, if it's a good idea or not. Okay, now, I don't know where this church is, but they appear to be some kind of Korean or something like this. I'm not sure what's happening, but have you guys seen this in church? So y'all know about collection plates, right? This is a digital collection plate. Let's watch. So what do y'all think about that? Like tap to pay, you can pull out your phone, bring up your Apple Pay and just tap like that and donate whatever you want. Is that a good thing, bad thing? Let me know. I ain't gonna lie to you. I'm kind of an old school guy. I remember the old school collection plate. You pass it around. Your grandma give you $1 to put in there. I remember those days, but that's a long time ago. So things have changed. Back then when I was doing that, it wasn't no credit cards, actually. Credit cards didn't even exist at that point, I don't think. So times have changed. What do y'all think? Good idea, bad idea? It's safer, cash only. Pay to pray is crazy, NERN. H No says Ann. DB says Gemstones Church vibes. I think it's full of germs. Oh, yeah, the germs are going to be crazy. Yeah, the germs are going to be off the hook on that. But the plate probably would be as well, but having a small device like that in your hand might have a little bit more room for germs. All these little nooks and crannies you can get little crud in. Yeah, I don't want to get your crud all on my yeah, I don't want that. But yeah, shout out to them. It's a new thing. It seems kind of jarring, but I think that more people will accept that than won't accept that, in my humble opinion. Now, Kamala is still here. Kamala is still walking and talk. I don't know why Kamala wants to come out and say anything, but she's here. So this was a speech at the Leading Women Defined Summit, whatever that is, okay? And it kind of went viral a little teeny bit. The caption says, Kamala Harris, I'm not here to say I told you so. All right, let's watch some of this here.
We're saying people stay quiet. We are seeing organizations stay quiet. We are seeing those who are capitulating to clearly unconstitutional threats. And these are the things that we are witnessing each day in these last few months in our country. And it understandably creates a great sense of fear. Because, there were many things that we knew would happen. Many things. I'm not here to say I told you so.
And the crowd goes wild. Kamala, really? You're in a safe space where they're going to be on the same page with you. They're just as dumb as you are. So it's fine. They all going to be kind of like trained seals clapping and whatnot. But that wasn't really your flex. Let's keep on watching.
I swore I wasn't going to say that. But I'll say this. Fear has a way of being contagious. Okay? When one person has fear, it has a way of spreading to those around them and spreading. And we are witnessing that, no doubt. But I say this also, my dear friends. Courage is also contagious. Courage is also contagious.
Okay, so word salad. Nothing has changed. Y'all know Kamala. She'll give you that word salad. Ain't gonna have no croutons, no dressing, no shredded cheese. It ain't gonna have nothing. Not no chicken, not no protein. It's gonna be straight up iceberg lettuce. You might as well drink water. It'll be easier for you rather than eating that garbage. But what do y'all think? Was that a riveting speech? And I guess what she's referring to is the whole tariff thing. They are so concerned about the tariffs. Really, I see right now as an exciting time in America. I see it as exciting. I see it as an opportunity to really, really go out there and get it. That's what I see it as. I don't see it as a fearful thing. One thing she said there that was correct was about the fear. It can spread like a virus. And if you are next to someone or around people who are afraid, you may be afraid as well. But see, the thing about it is, where does the fear come from? The fear comes from y'all on the left. The fear comes from the left, and y'all infect people through television, through newspapers, through social media, radio, music, entertainment. You infect them that way. So you're right about that. But who's afraid? And who's making them be afraid? It's pretty clear to see. So yeah, that's Kamala. Let's watch this. I think Stephen A had responded to it. Let's see what he's got going on. All right, and shout out to him.
Say something that isn't popular to say, but you know something, the Democrats need to hear this. Y'all are very, very fond of talking about how Donald Trump lies. Some of the things that have made people uncomfortable about Donald Trump, I got news for you. He hasn't lied. Didn't he say tariffs was what he was going to live by?
Sure did.
He not say that he was going to close those damn borders?
Sure did.
I believe he said that. Did he not say that he was going to address crime in our streets?
Sure did.
And things were going to get very, very bad for lawless individuals out there? Did he not provide indications that he could give a damn about the civil rights and the human rights of individuals that were considered lawless?
What do you mean? You talking about illegal aliens? Do they have rights? I'm not really sure, but anyway.
Did he not say, or at least indicate, that come hella high water, the culture that we were living in, we were going to dial that back? Did he not talk about the LGBTQ plus community, specifically as it pertains to transgenders and athletes not being allowed to transition from male to female and be able to compete in women's sports? Did he?
Sure did.
Not say these things? Yes, he did.
He did. He said it. Like, so when they say that Trump lying about what? They'll say that without actually saying what he lied about. Or they'll try to convolute a thing to make it fit their narrative when it is not actually true. Trump ain't told no lies. All of what he said he was going to do, he's doing. All of it. Much of it immediately. Some, it'll take time. But what he could get done instantly, he got done instantly. He's not a liar. If he's lying, my thing is, if you want to call somebody a liar, you need to be able to easily identify the lie. If I ask you, hey, you think Trump lied? What did he lie about? If I ask you that and you're having to be hemming and hawing, that means you're a liar. That means you're the liar. Actually, it means you're projecting. If you like MSNBC and whatnot, they project onto him. they're the liars. He tells the truth, but they say that he's a liar and they tell him the truth. It's projection. All right. So we got Bathhouse Barry back in the building. Say that 5 times fast. Bathhouse Barry back in the building. Here he is talking about a few things. I feel bad for Barry sometimes. I don't know. Like sometimes I feel bad for these people, but then I realize, nah, don't feel bad for them. You chose this life. You chose this life. Now you live in it. But let's hear from him.
Imagine if I had done any of this. Let me just, I just want to be clear about this.
Any of what? Any of what? Because your time in office was not necessarily the best. It wasn't the best.
Imagine that
the NPCs, unfortunately, love them some Obama. Oh, they love him. That's Black Jesus right there. Unfortunately.
Imagine if I had pulled Fox News' credentials from the White House press corps. You're laughing, but no, this is what's happening.
So who got their credentials pulled and why were the credentials pulled? Like what happened?
Imagine if I'd said to law firms that were representing parties that were upset with policies my administration had initiated, that you will not be allowed into government buildings.
Be specific. Like, I hate when they do that because they'll say, okay, Trump did this thing. But then once you get down to the specifics, it's either rationalized or it is an outright lie. So when you say that Trump did this, Trump did that, be specific. Give me the actual thing that you say that he did.
We will punish you economically for dissenting from the Affordable Care Act or the...
Bro, are you serious? Do you remember Affordable Care Act? You're talking about being punished economically. I remember that the Affordable Care Act came with a penalty. If you refused to get health insurance, then you were given a penalty that they could take from your tax money. You couldn't even pay on your own time. They would take that from your tax return money. It was Trump that came in and said, okay, let's stop doing that. So I don't really get it.
The Iran deal. We will ferret out students who protest against my policies.
Illegal aliens, illegal, like not illegal aliens. People here on the green card, non-citizens. Why would we want people here as guests when they're going to try to destabilize our country? You have to apply for a visa. If you say on that visa, when I get here, I'm going to engage in civil disobedience. I'll try to destabilize your country. If you say that on the application, you're going to be denied. So why is it a bad thing when that person comes over here and does that and we deport them? Why is that a bad thing? I don't understand. You, Bathhouse Barry, go to anywhere else in this world and just act a fool over there and see what happens. You might be okay because you're president, whatever, but a regular normie, go to China and act up. Go to China as a normie and go to Tiananmen Square. We saw what they did to Otto Warmbier in North Korea. This dude stole a poster off the wall and got deleted. You think you're going to be able to go to their colleges, study, and cause a problem and get to stay in the country? If they don't kill you, you'll be lucky.
It's unimaginable that the same parties that are silent now would have tolerated behavior like that from me.
Okay, so there we go. A bunch of a bunch of nonsense, false equivalencies. But again, a lot of these normies on the left, they love Bathhouse Barry. That's their man. That's their man. If he can't do it, nobody can. That's how they feel about Barry O. I'm not a fan. I am not a fan. Hope and Change, that was a big scam. It was a big lie. All right. So let's go to CNN. They're talking about the whole Kamala kerfuffle right here. The triple OG, the big homie, Scott Jennings, and Abby Phillip. I almost forgot her name.
Yeah, I mean, elections are ultimately about choices. They aren't, you don't have them in a vacuum. And I would just argue back to Kamala Harris that, I told you so. I agree. I told you so. Donald Trump was going to close the southern border. I told you so. He was going to bring order to immigration. I told you so. He was going to drag this country out of the left-wing cultural ditch and put us back towards more mainstream, middle of the road.
You think he's done the last thing?
I did tell you so. Now, he's also executing, as you all have acknowledged, his economic agenda, just as he said he was going to do. He's enacting tariffs, and he's asking the Congress to make the tax cuts permanent, and he's unleashing American energy. So I agree. It is I told you so, and about half the country is okay with it, and about half the country voted for it. So it strikes me that this is a healthy level of copium going on right now among Democrats who are telling themselves stories that the people who voted for this are not happy with it. The vast majority, if not everyone who voted for Donald Trump, is some level of happiness ranging from 9 to 10. Yeah, I mean...
There we go. I think the majority of us who voted for Donald Trump do not regret the decision. I think the majority of us who voted for Donald Trump do not regret the decision at all. We don't regret it. Okay? And the whole thing about regret... The whole thing about regret for voting for Donald Trump, that's an AstroTurf campaign they're trying to put out there, but it's not really sticking. So you have Asuncion hosting. Okay, whenever she wants to be Latina, she'll do that. When she wants to be black, she'll do that. Racially ambiguous at best. But anyway, here she is trying to push that same narrative. And you're going to see that same talking point all over television and everywhere else. But since it's not really rooted in reality for the majority of us, it's not going to stick. And whenever I see them do this, I point it out. I'm like, this right here, this is AstroTurf, and they're going to say the same talking point over and over and over again to get you to believe it. A lot of your soft brain, your soft-willed, weak people, your NPCs on the left, they'll believe it. Whatever they tell them, they're going to believe. They get up in the morning with a whole brand new set of instructions to follow from the television. So let's watch this right quick.
I bet you there are a lot of people that voted for Trump that wish and a lot of people who didn't vote.
Yeah, I think that the majority of us appreciate who we voted for, and that face is scary. You're looking like Michael toward the end. But anyway, shout out to Michael, not Sonny. But if you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up. Like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. Now, here's Trump back in the day. This is 2012, saying the same thing he's saying right now about tariffs. All right, let's put it on the screen and let it rock.
And somebody said, well, what would you do? What can you do? So easy. I drop a 25% tax on China. And I said to somebody that it's really the messenger. The messenger is important. I could have one man say, we're going to tax you 25%. And I could say another, listen, you motherfuckers, we're going to tax you 25%. And
so, yeah, shout out to Trump. He was saying the same thing back then in 2012. Sorry for the F-bomb that caught me off guard. But what he's saying is right. It's the same thing. It's like, look, Trump is a businessman and understands how to do business. A lot of these people, they don't really get it. They don't really understand. A lot of them follow orders from a higher, power, not the big man upstairs, not a supernatural power, but a human power that's above their pay grade. They do whatever they say because they don't know any better. But Trump is not that way. Now, here's Warren Buffett talking about stocks. Now, look, Warren Buffett has the right idea when it comes to stocks because some people are going to be afraid of the tariffs. They're going to be afraid of the stock market kind of crashing. They're going to be afraid. But if you're afraid of that, then you probably shouldn't really be in the stock game because stocks are going to go up and they're going to go down. And the whole up and down thing is how you make money. So if you're not ready for that, if you're kind of afraid of that, then I would say go do something else. So let's hear him say the same thing, basically.
A lot of investors are told, retail investors are told,
that they should have a certain percent of their portfolio in bonds. Maybe they're told 60-40, maybe they're told 70-30 stocks to bonds. That's something that you should do, and that's the safe way of doing it. What are they missing?
Some people should not own stocks at all because they just get too upset with price fluctuations. If you're going to do dumb things because your stock goes down, you shouldn't own a stock at all. No, I mean,
what are dumb things? Selling a stock?
Yeah, selling a stock because it goes down. I mean, if you buy your house at $20,000 and somebody comes along the next day and says, "I'll pay you 15," you don't sell it because the quote's 15. You look at the house or whatever it may be. But some people are not actually emotionally or psychologically fit to own stocks. But I think more of them would be if you get educated on what you're really buying, which is part of a business. And the longer you hold stocks, the less risky they become. Whereas the longer the maturity of a bond, the more risky it becomes.
A lot of investors.
So there it is, right on point. What he said was correct about a house. Okay, you bought your house, $20,000. It is assessed at $15,000. You're not going to sell it because it went down in the assessment because you own it already. You already own it. So keep it. And the thing about real estate, it'll go up. It'll continue to go up. Even if, like, let's say you have a house. You bought your house in 1995 for, let's say, $75,000, 1995. In the year 2000, it gets assessed at, like, let's say, 60. Don't sell right then. You own the house. You're already in it. Hang it out. Fast forward right now, 2025, that house probably worth $500,000, $780,000. You see what I'm saying? It went up. And during that period of time between 1995, 2000, and 2025, there may have been other price fluctuations. Let's say in 2010, your house is worth $300,000. No, not 2000. Let's say in 2007 it's worth $200,000. 2008 hits is worth $150,000. You're scared, but your home is still worth more than what it was when you first bought it. It's worth more than that lower valuation in the year 2000, and it'll be worth more when you still hold it in 2025. That's how stocks are. Now, as far as day trading and whatnot, I don't know about day trading. That's not my game. My game is long game, holding stocks like it's a savings account. The money will always go up, even if it dips down. And when it does dip down, if you sell, you're going to sell to a guy like me, a guy who's going to buy the dip. I'm going to buy when it's low like that. Thank you for your stock. I appreciate it, boss. Now, what I'm going to do, what you were afraid to do, I'm going to keep it and it's going to go up. You could have kept that stock. It can be worth 10x. Now that I was able to get it, I got it for cheaper than you got it, and it's worth 20x. So I got it at a lower price. That's the game of stocks. That's the game of the stock market. So it's not financial advice. I'm just saying that's how it works. That's just how it is. Now, this is Kevin O'Leary talking about tariffs.
Can you defend the tariffs?
Let me get it on the screen for you right quick and let it rock. This is on CNN.
Can you defend the tariffs?
You know, I try and focus on the signal, not the noise. Harris, but that's not the issue. Let's talk about the situation here. Reciprocal tariffs that have been put in place, they're basically hours for some.
I don't know what's going on. Somebody got some paper they're playing with, balling up homework. I don't know what's going on, but the noise in the background, I don't really get. So I'm not gonna play that video no more. But shout out to Kevin O'Leary. But I did not expect the homework being balled up. Somebody, Kobe in the trash can in the background with balled up paper. I don't know what's going on. But long story short, the tariffs, I don't see the fear. The fear comes from television. The fear comes from the media. Now, this is a pretty good infographic plus a throwback clip. This is 2021 compared to 2025 numbers. So you have Alejandro Mayorkas talking about the border and why the border can't be closed. It takes so long to get the border closed. But we're going to see the graph right next to him that shows just how much immigration has gone down, or illegal immigration, since Trump came into office. You can see it right there. You can see that bar under the R in SW border encounters under the RN encounters. You see that right there? That's the height of illegal aliens coming under Biden. It was very high under Biden. And then you can see that green arrow right there on the far right. That's how low it has gotten under Trump. So did it take time or did it take a different president? Let's watch.
You yourself say we are on pace to have one of the largest migrant surges in 20 years. Why were you not prepared for this?
Martha, let me be clear. We have seen large numbers of migration in the past. We know how to address it. We have a plan. We are executing on our plan, and we will succeed. This is what we do. But one thing is also clear, that it takes time. And why does it take time now? Why is it especially challenging and difficult now? Because the entire system under United States law that has been in place throughout administrations of both parties was dismantled in its entirety by the Trump administration. So we are rebuilding the system as we address the needs of vulnerable children who arrive at our border.
Word salad. Word salad. Listen, Alejandro Mayorkas, that was complete nonsense. Balderdash. Okay, it was, you guys just opened the border because it's what you wanted to do. That was your policy, to keep the border open. You guys kept the border open for your own reasons. Trump came in and closed it instantly. Instantly. 95, 98% drops overnight. Overnight. The lies about, oh, we need a bipartisan border bill. The lies about, oh, our system is destroyed. Just lies. Just lies. And they lie like that all of the time. All the time. He should be in the penitentiary making big rocks and little rocks. He should. He most certainly should. But if you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up. Like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. All right. I got more. I got so much more, but I got limited time. Let me see. Where do I want to go with this? I think I'm going to go, you got Fauci back in the news for some reason. Talking about it's going to be a new outbreak and it's going to be, listen, I don't want to hear anything about another outbreak. I don't care. It could be monkeypox, Ebola, mixed with a little bit of crack cocaine. You can just get high from breathing air outside. I don't care what it is. I'm not going to do no more shutdowns, no more lockdowns. You're not going to put no vaccine in my hind parts. I'm good. I'm good on that. So it doesn't really matter. And the thing about it is, they've already burned their bridge. They've burned their bridge already because they lied to us about the COVID-19 situation. They lied to us about that. It was the flu and there was no need to shut the country down. Shutting the country down cost us $6 trillion in counting. It cost us lives. It cost us businesses. It cost us people's entire everything came to a screeching halt. Like people's lives got turned upside down because of the COVID scam. I will never again even believe it, let alone participate in shutdowns, lockdowns, masks. No. So let's watch this from Fauci. And Fauci with Alejandro Mayorkas should both be independent. Should make it big rocks to little rocks. They can make big rocks to little rocks together in the same cell. Let's watch.
What is likely to happen, I don't know if it's going to be next year or 10 years or 15 or 20 years from now, is the emergence of another respiratory disease. It may be another coronavirus because we know that coronaviruses really, mostly in bats, have the capability of binding to receptors that are in humans.
Lord have mercy. The bats again. Are we going to roll the bats out? The bats and the rats and the cats and the dogs? Is that what we're going to do again, Fauci, for real? Bro. Can he just go away? Can he just not be here anymore?
It could be another flu. We're dealing with H5N1 now, which is bird flu, which has taken the somewhat disturbing step of infecting mammals, namely cows and cats and other mammals, which means it's adapting itself more to a human. So my concern, Walter, is that whenever that happens, the next outbreak will be of a respiratory disease that's easily transmissible, that has a significant degree of morbidity.
And we are making this a little bit more dangerous with the cuts and our attitude to it.
Shut up. So I guess we gotta have more money. The money's gonna. So if we just give it a couple, $1 trillion or so, then it won't be an outbreak. Give me a break.
Oh, absolutely.
Give me a break. You guys are ridiculous, man. Two fossils on stage talking nonsense. Nonsense. All right, we got one more from him. Now, he denies there's an increase in autism because of vaccinations. Now, here's my question. Autism has risen exponentially. What is the reason why that's happening? There's got to be a reason. It's not just for no reason. There's got to be something. So if you're the vaccine expert, disease expert, give us a reason why there's such a big increase in autism.
Why do you think, or do you think it's true that there's been a rise of autism?
Again, I'm not an autism expert, so I rely on the experts in this. And rather than an increase in autism, has been an increase in what the definition of the broader spectrum of things that would never cause autism now cause autism.
Okay, so we just weren't calling it that before. Is that really what's going on? We're seeing increases in things, specific things that could be under the umbrella of autism. We're seeing more of that. A lot of nonverbal kids. That it's a lot more of that going on. Okay, so I don't think what you're saying is correct. The way you're trying to say that is like, well, we've always had a lot of autism, but we didn't call it autism. No. Because we're seeing increases in very specific things that were not really that prevalent before.
So there's no indication at all of an increase, even though there are a lot of people that say it is.
So what do you guys think? Is there no increase in autism? Do you guys believe them? Do you guys think that what we see as an increase in autism is just an increase in diagnoses and an increase in things that were not autism included under the spectrum? What do y'all think? What do y'all think? Now, somebody said diet. Now, I don't know about diet and autism, but I know about diet and being healthy specifically. Like I eat like a complete monk. I eat pretty much salmon and rice every day. Brown rice too. Every day. And 1 meal a day too. Like I'm really strict about that. So I don't get sick. I feel really good at my age. And I think a lot of people, I don't know about, specifically autism, but in general, people have a lot of these little nagging ailments and injuries because they're not taking care of their body right. They're not sleeping enough. They're not eating the right food. They don't do physical activity. That's aside from the autism argument, but just in general, so you won't be having to rely upon big pharma and people like Anthony Fauci. You got to take care of yourself to the best of your ability. Feed your body the premium fuel that it needs. Like a lot of y'all got nice cars. You guys got money. Can I get $1, y'all? But anyway, a lot of y'all have really nice cars. You put in the 93 gas in your car. You taking care of it. You going to a dealership. You getting all the bells and whistles. You getting all kind of stuff. But when it comes to your body, you'll put complete garbage in it. Complete garbage. And that's going to impact you negatively in your life. So yeah, be careful. Beware about your diet. Be careful about that. Don't let your diet get out of control. Now, let's go to something else. Terrence Howard. Now, Terrence Howard is an interesting individual. I think the character he played on Sunset Park was him in general. Now, I don't want to discredit Terrence Howard. I like him. I'm not trying to call him an idiot or anything like that. But I want to show you this scene from this movie right quick. What's it? Sunset Park, right? He played a character called Spaceman. And The reason why they called him a spaceman is because he was kind of spaced out.
Psychopath over.
Hold on. Like, watch this.
Yep. Look at you. I know we gonna lose every game now. Psychopath over there on the bench.
Catching invisible butterflies for no reason. That and this movie was so cringe. You got the white liberal savior reapproachment. Anyway, Terrence Howard has always kind of been just out there. That's why they call him Spaceman in the movie.
Show world, God. Knock it out.
Like, that's pretty much Terrence Howard right there. I could play a lot more, but you get the idea. He's just kind of ethereal, kind of just like, all over the place. There was also a scene that got kind of crazy where he brought a knife. I'll play that right quick. Hold on.
I'm about to go kill my teacher. Oh, it's like he always got something smart to say to me, right? It's like I had my hair braided. And so I had this woolly on my head. When I come into the classroom, he's like, take it off. So I take it off. And he started laughing at my braids.
So he's going to go kill the teacher because of the braids comment. And that knife right there is crazy. Again, that's a movie. He played a guy called Spaceman because he was out there. Now, let's go to an interview from Valuetainment talking about Puff and some of these parties, Diddy parties. Some may say that he sounds like Spaceman right here. Some may say that he sounds like he makes a lot of sense. So he's not telling no lie, that he's being truthful. So what do y'all think? Let's play some of this. This is on Patrick Bet-David podcast with Terrence Howard.
But when you give up your manhood, I've never seen somebody recover from it. That was all the people that went to the Puffy parties. That was all the people that did all those things thinking that there was never going to be a consequence for what they were doing. Get punked out and pimped out by some greater desire. You shouldn't have a greater desire than being a man. So I believe that's a big problem with a lot of the actors out there because they get fluid. And next thing you know, once you go fluid, it's gone. You don't have any foundation to pull yourself back from. So maintain your man card, no matter what.
Now, what he's saying so far makes total sense to me. Once you get fluid and you can just kind of out there doing whatever, then all bets are off. You have no foundation upon which to really ground yourself and root yourself. You just do whatever. And then you have no more control over your life. Now you're just pretty much out there. What he's saying is correct.
Man.
Look, he don't even know what to do. He's like, man, that's pretty heavy.
Yeah, I mean, one of the things you're seeing, you went to a whole different place.
Sorry.
No, I get it. So you see some guy struggling with that. You see Bieber struggling with that.
Now, when he says fluid, somebody asked the question, what he means fluid is you'll do pretty much anything with anyone. Take it how you want to take it.
See some of these guys struggling with that.
They can't get it out of their head. They can't get it out of their head. The things that they did, no matter how they did it, whether they were drunk or high or whatever, you gave up your man card. You need therapy. And that's the thing that hurts them the most. And so they end up on drugs, end up every way to try and get rid of any principles there are. And that's what the business does. And the women that trade their bodies to go and get the role, they get to the point where they have their Oscar, they have their money, but they don't have their dream. They don't have the soul that they started with. So it's like achieving don't mean anything. If I get all the Nobel Prizes from doing all of this, but in the process I have to trade out all of my integrity to do it so that they can stay in place, what benefit is that?
Terrence Howard is telling the 100% truth. If you have no integrity, if you have no integrity, you have no foundation, you have no morality, you don't feel good about yourself, you hate yourself. You're also going to see a lot of people that, they hurt themselves, they delete themselves, they do all kind of self-harmful things because they cannot live with what they have done to get to where they are. they've succeeded in Hollywood. They have the role, they have the money, but they don't have the soul. They hate themselves on the inside. So what he's saying right there is correct. There's more to that, but I'll leave it right there. Again, that's Terrence Howard on the Patrick Bet David podcast. It was funny seeing Patrick Bet David listening to this. He didn't know what to say. Like, look at his face. He didn't know what to say, because what Terrence is saying makes a lot of sense. It makes total sense. And we've seen this happen. Justin Bieber, I feel so bad for him. I really do. Because Bieber came in with Puff, which was the wrong place to start. The absolute wrong place to start with Puff. Young white boy with Puff. Absolutely terrible. So again, shout out Patrick Bet David. Shout out Terrence Howard. All right. Now, if you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up. Like the video, share the video, do all the good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. Okay. I got a little bit of time. What I want to do before I get to Byron Donalds, can I just play this character right here? Now, I think what I've seen lately from the Breakfast Club is I've seen them trying to roll out some of these political figures that go on MSNBC and stuff like this, and they don't understand why we don't listen to them. They're trying to bring them to the Breakfast Club to make them appeal to a broader audience, but they don't understand how ridiculous they look. Look at this guy, man. Look at this guy. Elie Mystal. How old is he anyway? Hold on. He's 46 years old looking like this. Bro, you're like not that old. You're pretty much my age. You're pretty much my age. My sister is older than you. Bro, look at yourself, man. The gray hair, whatever, that's fine. You're like 150 pounds overweight. You're fat sitting right here in this chair. And when you speak, it's ridiculous. Let's hear from him, and then we'll keep going.
I want to eliminate every single voter registration law. All of them. All of them in every state are bad, right? That's different from voter eligibility. If you're eligible to vote, you should just be able to rock up to the polls and vote. So we could just get rid of all of them. We could just get rid of all of them. And the people will say like, oh, well, we can't do that because of voter fraud, right? Well, first of all, and I know this is going to be hard for some listeners who spend a lot of time listening to Republican lies, but voter fraud does not exist.
I loved how you broke that down in the book. Expound, please.
Right?
Yeah.
Voter fraud just doesn't exist. It's not a real thing. We shouldn't make laws based on protecting us from things that don't exist.
Let's pause for a second. Okay. The hand gestures is gay. He's married to a woman, actually. He has kids, apparently. So that's surprising. But the hand gestures is gay. And you're fat. It's like your stomach or whatever that is right there is on top of the table. You pretty much put your breasts or your stomach on the table. So off rip, I'm not listening to what you got to say, because how are you going to tell me anything when you can't regulate your own body? If your body is completely irregular, like just out of control, how can you tell me anything about anything? Also, if voter fraud, quote unquote, doesn't exist, why? Maybe it's because there's laws against it, and that prevents it from happening. You have low incidents of voter fraud because there's laws against it that prevents it from happening. That's why. Not only are you fat, you're also a moron. Why would I listen to you? And when they put these guys on the radio, when they put these guys on podcasts, they get exposed. Normally, he's on MSNBC talking like this, where they accept guys that look like that. When you come out to the real world, it's different.
Right? Republicans keep saying we need voter ID. The voter ID is the thing that secures our election, that protects us from voter fraud.
And look, what's funny is that he has an afro pick in his hair. Bro, really? An afro pick? Is this 1975? Like, what is going on?
Protects us from voter fraud. And I call their bluff. I'm like, all right, you want voter ID? Fine. Let's make a deal. Remember how this country used to actually make deals in order to move forward? Let's make a deal. I'll give you your voter ID. It's got to be national. It's got to be free, because if it's not free, it violates the 24th Amendment's prohibition on poll taxes. But you give me a free national, I'll give you a free national voter ID, and you give me automatic registration of every eligible voter that is also portable between either in the states or between the states. Portable means if I move, I don't have to re-register. My registration follows me. I don't have to follow my registration. You give me that deal, I will give you your ID card. Who says no?
Okay, so that's him. I mean, I don't see what the big deal is about. Like, just register to vote. It's the same as you do everything else. Like, it's not that deep. What you want is to be able to find a way to cheat. That's ultimately what I hear when I hear that. And I think we hear the same thing. That's what I hear. But for real, what I actually hear is a bunch of food being eaten in my ear. I hear you smacking in my ear, in my mind, because of how fat you are. It is what it is, man. Look, you're going to be on TV. If you're going to be on TV, you need to look presentable. If you don't want to be on television, if you don't want to be front facing to the public, then it doesn't really matter. Be 1,000 pounds. So what? You're going to be on TV like that? That's why we don't like them on television. They get up there, they idiots, they don't know anything. They'll lie to you straight to your face. And you could tell by looking at them that they don't care about themselves. If they don't care about themselves, then why should I care about them and what they got to say? I don't. And then when I do listen to them, it is just what I expected. A bunch of nonsense, a bunch of malarkey, as Joe Biden would say. Now, look, extra ill, you may say it's petty, but you know I'm not lying to you. One thing I won't do to you is lie. I might be petty. That's fine. That's totally fine. That's your opinion. But am I lying? Am I a liar? If you can't call me a liar, then it is what it is, man. It is what it is. Now, shout out to, speaking about being petty, let's talk about being petty. Let's talk about Jasmine Crockett trying to attack Byron Donalds because he's married to a white woman. And listen, I don't care what color person you married to, black, white, Puerto Rican, Canyon stripe. You could be a man married to a man. I don't care nothing about that. That's your business. I don't like when people try to attack someone for being married to somebody of a different race. And I definitely don't like the hypocrisy, like the whole MLK thing. Let freedom ring. I'm pro blackity black, black, black. I'm married to my black wife and got black kids, but yet I be in the freak offs. And listen, if MLK was alive today, he would most certainly be at the Puff Daddy freak offs. Yes, he would. With white women. That's what he liked to do. And it's a pattern. Whenever I see a pro-black, they got him a white woman. Hey, shout out to the white woman. Nothing wrong with y'all at all. But the pro-blacks talking about black, except for my white wife. Make it make sense. It's weird. Just as weird as Jasmine Crockett trying to attack Byron Donalds for being married to a white woman. Let's watch some of this. And shout out to the triple OG, the big homie, Joe Pags, one of the best voices in this industry. Let's watch.
The clapback you've got to see. You probably heard what Jasmine Crockett said about Byron Donalds on that guy Lenny's radio show. She sat there and called out his wife because of her race and then went on this rant. Now, I interviewed Byron Donalds a little while ago. You've got to see his reaction. Do not stop watching this. It's going to blow your mind.
And if we continue to put people into office, and that even means some of our skinfolk who definitely are not our kinfolk, such as Byron Donalds, who are going to continue to say that, the fact that you sitting around talking about life was better under Jim Crow, is this because you don't understand history? Or literally it's because you married a white woman and so you think that whitewashed you?
You married a white woman, so you think that whitewashes you. Well, I had Byron Donalds on. He's running for governor of the great state of Florida, and it was just a great conversation. But he went there. You got to see this.
Let's pause. Now, the whole Jim Crow thing, I said it before. What Byron Donalds said previously about Jim Crow was correct. During Jim Crow, I'm going to say it again if you didn't hear before. During Jim Crow, there was a study released by a Democratic senator, a white Democratic senator named Daniel Patrick Moynihan, called the Moynihan Report. And in the Moynihan report, it had some statistics about the marriage rates of races, marriage rates before children came into the picture. So black folks had an 80% two-parent household rate in the year 1965. Also in that same year, whites had a 95% two-parent household rate. Again, 1965. 80% two-parent household rate was considered an emergency in 1965. Let's fast forward, 2025, 60 years later. We're almost at the reverse in the black community with like a 75% single-parent household rate. And among whites, it has gone below what it was considered to be an emergency for us in the 1960s. It's now like a 25% single-parent household rate among whites. So their two-parent household rate is declining, and so is ours. And the whole point is that closer to Jim Crow, we had stronger family structures among blacks and whites. That's just a fact. You could say that times were worse under Jim Crow, and that's fine. But the reality is the reality. Families were together. People got married more before they had children. Now, baby mama, baby daddy, IVF, all kind of other weird stuff going on. It's different. That's just a fact.
First and foremost, don't talk about my wife. Keep my wife out of this. Ain't got nothing to do with her. You can talk to me about policy anytime you want to. Secondarily, there was a couple of times on the campaign trail last year where I know I was booked to be on stage or to be in debate with Jasmine, and all of a sudden her schedule changed. She had a conflict, whatever the case might be. So if she wants to do this, if she wants to have that debate, I'm easy to find. You know, you ain't got to look hard for me. You know, I'm 6'2". You can find me. It's pretty easy. Number three, and most importantly, this demonstrates, frankly, the racism in the Democrat Party, because they don't have a problem when Kamala Harris is married to a white man or when Ketanji Brown Jackson's married to a white man, as long as they subscribe to the politics of the Democratic left. As long as you do that, everything is fine. But if you're a conservative, but your spouse happens to be white or of another race, then all of a sudden it's a problem. This is the racism that occurs in the Democrat Party. I'm sick of it, tired of the BS. I tell any one of them who have a concern about me and what they think my views are, debate me. And if you don't want to debate me, Google me. There's plenty of information out there because I know that I have the facts. I have the information. I can back my stuff up. All they can do is throw out innuendos, throw out talking points. And the last thing I'll say about Ms. Crockett, and I'm going to leave it alone. Jasmine, I don't use talking points. Nobody tells me what to say. And so I know how to deliver a message because I have facts, I have logic, I use economics. I don't get into hyperbole. So if you are concerned about some of the things that I say, find a show. It could be whatever show you want to. We'll sit there and do it. We'll have a good time along the way, and you'll go ahead and be defeated very quickly.
Make sure you're following this channel right here.
So right on to shout out to Joe Pag, shout out to Byron Donalds. I mean, what he said right there is right on. And it's funny how there were some scheduling difficulties when it came to Byron Donalds and Crockett being in the same place at the same time. Okay, we got an event. We're going to be in the same place. We might be on the stage at the same time. Some kind of speaking thing, whatever. I'm there. I show up. Where is Jasmine Crockett? Oh, now that you knew that I was going to be there, you want to avoid me. But you want to avoid me and then go on the radio and talk crazy about me and my kids and my wife. It's weird. But again, a lot of those people on the left will talk about that, oh, you're married to a white woman, like some kind of diss. But all of them do it. It's a lot of projection. And Jasmine Crockett, you 44 years old. Never been married and no kids. So what's up? What you been doing the whole time? What you been doing the whole time? And that wouldn't even be a question to ask if she didn't bring it up. So I don't know what she's trying to do here. Like, you're going to bring up something like that. Naturally, your background will be looked into next. That's what's going to happen. So yeah, I hope they keep trotting Jasmine Crockett out there to the general public. I hope they keep trotting her out there, because what's going to happen is she will become the face of the Democratic Party. And if that happens, that'll be the nail in their coffin. They're already kind of on life support as it is. If they have her as face of the Democratic Party, it's over with. It is 100% over with. Now, one last thing here. One last thing.
And New Yorkers stop me all the time in trying to find the rationale behind this. And I found it in this book. I'm going to encourage every New Yorker to read it.
Now, the book he's holding up is Government Gangsters. And if you don't know, this is New York City Mayor Eric Adams. And the book is by Kash Patel, our brand new FBI director. It's called Government Gangsters. It gets into the deep state and how it operates. It's permanent government. They're always there. And if you want to follow the government in some kind of way, they'll come get you. The only reason Eric Adams has some kind of legal trouble is because he was against the migrant crisis. That's the only reason why he got in trouble. If not for that, then it wouldn't have been the problem. Remember, during Biden's administration, Eric Adams was flying to D.C. to go meet with Biden about the migrants. He's like, look, the migrants are killing us. It's costing too much money. You guys are not giving us any help from the federal government. What are we to do? It cost New York City $7 billion for a little over 1 year of the migrant crisis. And that money was paid for by New York City taxpayers. $7 billion with it be $7 billion. So Eric Adams was like, look, we can't, this is not sustainable. As he was being vocal about that when Biden was in office, they punished him. They first started raiding people in his administration, raiding an assistant, raiding this person, raiding that person. All these raids happened. One of the raids took place while Eric Adams was on the plane to D.C. to speak on the migrant crisis with Biden. It was a message. Getting too close now, stay in your place, don't get too uppity. That's what it was. But he refused to keep, he refused to stop talking about it, and the end result was, okay, we're going to indict you. And then Trump comes in and gives him a pardon, and they don't like that. Oh, Trump wants him to help with the. Listen, Eric Adams was already on board with being against the migrant crisis, so there was no need to coerce him. How are you going to coerce me to do what I'm already doing? Like, if I ride my bike every day, how are you going to bribe me to keep doing it? I'm already doing it. This is what I do all the time anyway. But anyway, shout out to Eric Adams. I hope that he comes around and just becomes conservative. That's what I hope. It's never too late, Eric. Look, if you can hear me, Eric Adams, it's never too late. You're in your 50s or whatever it is. It's never too late. Come on over and leave them. They don't like you on the left. They try to get you locked up. If not for Trump, you might have got locked up. Leave them behind. Come on our side. It's much better. All right. But if you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up. Like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. The thing about Eric Adams that he made a mistake. I think he might have been in favor of the migrants at first, but $7 billion is $7 billion. And you don't get any help from the federales. You got to pay that from taxpayer money. Then you realize what's really going on. You are being used as a pawn. And that's not a very good thing to have happen to you. So yeah, shout out to Eric Adams. And shout out to you guys for watching. If you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up. Like the video, share the video, do all that. That helped me out tremendously. All righty, we got super chats on deck. Then we're going to get to the calls. The number to call, I got to get it right, 706-406-3287. Again, 706-406-3287. I'll get to the calls in a moment. Y'all hang tight. Let me go to super chats here. Bob MIT says, bring back the collaborations. ABL, B. Tatum, Jericho Green. Thank you to Apu Bakar Apov Daddy, who says, opinion on Trump's gold card, $5 million for entry into the U.S. Does it just confirm every stereotype that the left has of Trump is egotistical? Okay. Is he egotistical? Nah. The Trump card, or the gold card, pardon me, the gold card for $5 million for citizenship, the goal is to raise $5 trillion with those cards. Okay, he wants to sell 1 million of those cards, if I'm not mistaken. So if you could raise $5 trillion, that's $5 trillion. Call him egotistical, call him this, call him that. But what you can't call him is an idiot if he raises the money. And our debt is well into the double-digit trillions. What's it like, 38 trillion, 36 trillion? We have quite a bit of debt. we can sell enough of those cards to wipe out all the COVID-19 money printing. So the cards are a great idea, actually. Thank you to Apple again, who says Stephen Colbert calls deep state to stop Trump. Thoughts? Is that what he did? Hold on. Did Stephen Colbert actually name the deep state and say, hey, come stop Trump? Let me see if I can find it right quick before we get to some calls. Okay.
Everybody, welcome one and all to the Late Show. I'm your host, Stephen Colbert.
I don't want to hear this guy talk that much. Like, we don't get that kind of time right now. I kind of just want to get straight to what he said if he said it. Yeah. I'll find that at a separate time. But if he did say that, it's not surprising. That's Stephen Colbert is what they do. I'm glad that he's saying it out in the open now, at least. Without a reason says, shout out to Sonia, she's listening. Shout out to Sonia. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. Thank you to Boomhower, who says, or tornado, I read that one already. But Boomhower said, a tornado went down the street in front of my house. It missed us. We have no electricity, but I'm watching you on my phone. More storms to come. Shout out to you, Boomhower. Thank you to Lady B, who says, lefties were protesting today here in Martins, West Virginia. Okay, West Virginia and Martins, West Virginia. All right. Or Martinsburg. Yeah, all right. Shout out Martinsburg. Shout out to you. Over there on the east side. Thank you to Bob versus Windshield, who says Democrats have swapped burning crosses for Teslas. Correct. Thank you to Ryan Henderson, who says, you crash out and hit me, I'm going to crush you. Exactly. Thank you to Lawther, who says, I'm pro-choice, but I don't attack people physically because they disagree with me. Also, the other girl was just simply gaslighting. What happened to civil disagreements? Exactly. We could just have a discussion without you putting your hands on me. You don't got to agree with me. That's totally fine, but don't touch me either. Don't do that, because I'm be crossing lines. Let's have civil disobedience, civil disagreements, not disobedience. We don't want that. Thank you to Ryan Henderson, who says, Antifa are the bullies and we are the solution. Don't play with them. Exactly. Thank you to Ryan Henderson. And again, it says Ukraine has modern day fox hunting, but it ain't a fox. It's soldiers chasing you down. Correct. Thank you to where we at. Lawther again, who says, if you bring in one religion into school, if you bring in one religion into school teaching, it's not really written properly. Shout out to you, Lawther. He says, if you bring one religion into school, then you might have to bring in others. Just saying, we live in a country that has freedom of religion, but also all means all of them. Mark Henderson says, Kamala, we knew that you wouldn't close the border, but Trump would. That's why you feared happy days on the way. Thank you to Walmart Tavius, hilarious, who says, your thoughts on iShow speed stream in China that is breaking the internet, showing off Chinese tech, Chinese propaganda, psyop, and retaliation to Trump. I've not seen the stream, but what was he showing? Let me see if I can find some of that right quick. Hold on. iShow speed China. I know I'm way late, but it's fine. I'll be here for a little while longer. Okay. So
and these Chinese,
they got an amphibious car.
Cars got it. Hey, these China cars got it, bro. Oh shit. Oh shit. Oh. Oh god. Oh god. Oh my god. Whoa, 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 whoa.
Okay, now China. About China. China has some good products, but they also have a lot of junk too. And a lot of these products look good for a while, but they break down very easily. It's funny. I'm reading articles from U.S. papers about how China's EV company is better than Tesla. I'm like, no, not in a million years. Not yet. These cars cost like $15,000, and they cost that much for a reason. Cheaply built, set on fire all the time. The batteries are unstable. It's a bunch of garbage. It looks nice and fancy and glistening, but it's not all that. I promise it's not. It may look a certain way, but it's not all that. Oh, damn. Okay, so here is a Huawei folding phone.
Let me show you how to fold it.
You can fold it?
Yeah, like this one.
Yo, what the hell? You sure this is it?
Yeah.
Best camera on any phone?
Yeah.
How much it goes? In USD?
20,000 Chinese yuan.
No, USD.
USD maybe 3,000.
3,000?
Yeah.
For a phone?
But it's like a trifold. I mean, it looks nice, but again, it's Chinese stuff. Some of the stuff is really, really nice, but some is not. That phone looks great, but it might break in a little bit. You guys are funny. Harbor Freight cars, Temu vehicles, you guys are hilarious. But a trifold phone is nice. For 3 bands, I'm good. I don't need that. I don't need that, but it looks nice. It looks very nice. But you can see tech like that in China, but don't think it's going to be very high quality at the end of the day. It could be, but it might not be. Thank you to Ryan Walker, who says, I'm working on maxing my Roth IRA each year. Right on. Thank you to Janine Jones, who says, I'm out ABL. You're cutting out bad. Y'all have a good night. I don't know what happened. Was I cutting out? I'm sorry, Janine. Thank you to Trumpinator for the donation. Thank you to Atomic Tabasco, who says nothing, but thank you for the donation. Thank you to Rebel Without a Reason, who says Eric Adams left the Democratic Party. He's running as okay. So Eric Adams is no longer a Democrat. He's now an independent. That's good. What I want him to do is to come over to our side completely and don't be playing the middle. That's what I would like, but I like that he's not a Democrat anymore. It's a good start. At least you're not on the Democratic plantation anymore. Great start. Okay. All right. But if you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up. Like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. Let's get to the calls. 706-406-3287. Did I get it right? Let's go ahead and get to the calls here. And we are rocking and rolling. I know I'm way late with the calls, but I'll be here for a little while longer because I was late anyway. I was late because I was late, and then we had the audio issue in the beginning. All right, so we're good. Let's go. 470, you're on the line. Who am I speaking to?
I'll lead an effective strategy to mobilize true international effort to pressure.
Anthony, how are you doing, sir?
Oh, well, about yourself?
Good. It's Greg from Wild and Wacky Atlanta, where anything can happen anytime. So, yeah, man, I like your show. It's really good tonight. Yeah, I met Byron Donalds back in late October of last year when I was, I have to turn on the volume here. I'm hearing Biden. So, back in late October, I was volunteering to help out with Trump Force 47. And he's a real guy. He's the real deal. I like him a lot. He's one of the true Trump loyalists. I like him. Anyway, as far as the tariffs are concerned, yeah, I know we need to do this. It's very necessary, but I still, at the same time, I'm still kind of cautious because I've lost about $15,000 in value in just the last 2 days. You know, since it went into effect on April 2nd.
Right.
So, I mean, so now I'm down to where it was when Ding Dong was in office back on January 19th. So I've lost all the $15,000 in gain I've gotten since Trump got in, which went up in about, $15,000 in 10 and a half weeks. That's pretty fast. So I'm just kind of really concerned about that. What I'm trying to do right now is sell my condo. I'm going to buy a cheaper condo and then put about $100,000 into the market. So, I mean, what do you think? I mean, do you think it was the last just a couple months for it bounces back or what? I don't know. It's impossible to say, but I just don't want it to go down too much,
It'll be back. I'm not sure when, but it'll be back for sure. And I think right now is a good time for anybody to invest if they hadn't before, but it will be back.
Right. Yeah, you can buy a lot of cheap stocks like you were saying about an hour and a half ago. And what I tell people is don't freak out because during the pandemic, I lost about $53,000 in value and it bounced back by, I will say, about mid-late July of 2020. It started to come back. I gained back well over half of what I lost. But if you sell your stocks and you panic and dump everything, you're not going to get the value back. Plus, you're going to have to pay taxes on what you sold. So you're better off just keeping it and just waiting it out, riding out the storm until they come back. So That's what I say. Anyway, thanks very much. I appreciate the good work. You be safe when you come down to Wild and Wacky Atlanta, and have a great night. Take care, man.
Thanks for the call. Definitely appreciate you.
Thanks. See you. Bye.
All righty. Great call. Shout out, man, for the call. Let's keep on rocking and rolling. Let's go to. All right. I was too late for that one. Too slow to the trigger. But the number to call, 706-406-3287. 706-406-3287. The number will always be in the description. It'll also be right here in the ticker below the actual video. There it is, 706-406-3287. All righty. Let's go to 859 in the line. What speaker to?
Hey, how's it going? This Libertarian friend, how's it going, buddy? Just watching the show, listening to it, and just doing some rounds, doing some deliveries. So how's your day? Since there's all been just a bunch of storms everywhere and almost been flooded while I was doing door dashing, so.
Oh, it's all good. I've not had any flooding so far. There's no storms yet. We getting those like a little bit later on tonight and throughout the day tomorrow. So as of right now, I'm good.
Well, my line of work is usually a bit of a struggle, but you know what? It's, hey, you know, rain, sleet, and snow. You got to make money somehow, right?
That's right.
Oh, what I was saying on that super chat, I think I was kind of multitasking. I was saying if you bring in one religion, you have to bring in all religions, and then you know how conflicts of interest of religion, especially Islam, you think atheists and Christians have a little bigger with each other. Oh, you can imagine with the Middle East coming around with that kind of religion. You know, not trying to be, you know, judgmental, but you know how they have a track record of not tolerating other people's beliefs. You know.
Yeah. Now,
so that could be.
Yeah, you got a point, but I'm not quite sure how far they're going to go with the Bible. Like, is it going to be full on teaching, like a Bible study, or like core tenets, like 10 Commandments, thou shalt not steal, stuff like that? So I'm not quite sure what they're going to do, how they're going to go about it, but I don't see it really being too in depth.
Yeah, and I do agree. I mean, it depends on the region, it depends on who's in charge and how far they will take it. But at the most part, I don't think they're going to take it that far. I don't think after a year it's going to end up like was that one series with the women in the bonnets? I forgot what it was called. That show. You know what show I'm talking about on Netflix?
I have no idea. I don't watch TV.
Never mind. But I don't think it's going to be as far as like Warren Jeff and like Jim Jones. I don't think it's going to go that far. But I agree with you. I think there should be some moral standards and some morality in their schools and stuff like that. But at the same time, it's a slippery slope when you mix in religion with government. Then there's a crossing a line point. But you know, I mean, I'm all for freedom of religion, freedom of speech, and I'm all for that. But there's always a slippery slope between that and what somebody else's personal beliefs in compared to like a government entity or a school, you know?
Okie dokie. Right on.
Hey, I'll talk to you later. I got to head up on this road. It's flooding, my friend. I'll talk to you later. Much love to you, man. I love your show, ABL. Much appreciated. And you know what? The Democrats supporting actual fascists now with like Ukraine and supporting that war, man. Disappointing at the liberals. Especially they preach about anti-war, but they're pro-war. So, hey, I appreciate you. Much love. I'll talk to you later, bro.
Thanks for the call, man. Definitely appreciate you.
Hey, no big deal. Luciferian Libertarian out. I'm out.
All right. Yeah, you're kind of busy over there. You hustling the bus, man. Get that money and stay safe, bro. If you can hear me, bro, stay safe. Don't be out there in the flood if it's going to be too much. Yeah, you don't want to drive in the flood waters either. So be safe. All you guys be safe in the inclement weather that you may be experiencing right now. 678, you're on the line. Who am I speaking to?
Hi, this is Candy. I'm from Atlanta.
All righty, what's going on?
Oh, I tell you, I love your show. I love your point of view. It's very refreshing to see.
Thank you for that. I appreciate you.
It's kind of, I'm trying to figure out, I'm trying to figure out where can I find people like-minded like me, because we're a minority. I'm a 7%.
Well, they have you heard about Blexit?
Yes.
They're in Atlanta. I've been to some of their events in Atlanta, so they're out there. You can reach out to them, and they're really good people. And I think a lot of them feel the same way as you.
Okay. Thank you, because I was wondering where I could find like-minded people. Okay, well, thank you so much. I really enjoy your shows.
Thank you for your call. Definitely appreciate you.
You're welcome. Bye-bye.
Yeah, Biloxi, they're good people. It's a lot of them. It's a lot of them in Atlanta. You would never know it, but they definitely there. Who else? I was thinking about somebody else too. Well, Biloxi, that's a good place to start. But there's like events you can go to. Some of the political events they have. It's a lot of people down there. But start with Biloxi, and from there you'll be able to meet people that are like-minded in Atlanta. 310, you don't lie. Who am I speaking to?
This is Ron from Georgia. How you doing, ABL?
I'm doing well. Can't complain about yourself.
Doing okay this week. And as far as that lady from Georgia, like people, hey, we're out there. Just continue to be positive yourself and share the good word with people. Be friendly, be informative, be knowledgeable, and you'll make an impact. We all make an impact. I thank God that what we're seeing happening in America. Even though the left is railing and crying and trying to stir up all the trouble, they paying their way into chaos and everything like that. We're gonna come through this. The tariffs is a good thing for our country. It's going to bring back businesses and things that people need, jobs, real jobs. And all the American people have to do is to get off their butts, get off that drugs, and get their mind right and get to the point that they want to better themselves. We're going to be okay. And the thing about it is that if the politicians who are out there railing against our country would come together as a nation, and that's the thing about it, is that we're not coming together as a nation. Right now, it's two or three sects in our nation that is fighting with each other. You got some that's fighting for the positive, who really support our country. You got those who support other countries, and you got others supporting just themselves. And the thing about it is that we just got to get to the point that we are for ourselves as Americans to make ourselves better. I think that we're going to be all right. I really do. I'm not going to I'm going to continue to pray for our country as well as our president and his cabinet. I know I was talking to people these days, and a lot of people don't like what they see. They don't like what they see, but when I try to input positiveness into what I see, they have a different mindset. And this is what we need to do today. We need to continue to speak positive to those who can't, who won't, who can't even see the good things that's happening or the good things that may be approaching. And the thing about it is that we got to continue to support our president and his vision. I believe is a good vision for our nation. And that's the thing about it. I think it's a good thing for our nation to be positive. And if we all get on that board, just like yourself, and the rest of the conservatives and the rest of the true Americans who really love our country, we're going to be okay. And even to the point that, it's a good thing that they're trying to bring Bible in the schools. It's not just learning the religion, it's to getting a moral compass. And that's the thing about it. People don't have a moral compass today. That's why there's anything goes. We need a moral compass. There is right and wrong. There is things for common sense. And these are the things of what we need to be accentuated. We just need to continue to have these common sense ideas. And that's going to make our country great. It's going to make us great as a nation. I just love our nation, and I love, the people who are standing up for right. I just love it. And God bless you, my brother, because like I said, I don't want to go too much on a tangent because I'm gonna get too happy around here. But you know what? Every week I'm getting better and better and seeing what's going to happen. And I just, like I said, I can't wait for people keep saying that when we're going to see a change. Change is happening. Little changes, little changes is happening, and even great things are happening. Like I said, the criminals are being arrested, and like I said, the ones that are supporting these criminal acts, they're going to be arrested too. And I can't wait to see that happen because, like I said, people say, who's paying for this stuff? The ones who are paying will pay not only with their money, they're going to pay with their freedom. And I say right on to that because that's the thing about it. People think they can get away with things. It's time for that stuff to be stopped. Get them. Get them, Bondi. Get them, Cash Patel. Get them. Get them all. And it's not that we hate America. It's because we love America. God bless you, my brother. God bless you, ABL chat team. Hey, Sheree, ABL, you got an awesome crew. God bless you, my brother. You have a good one, okay?
Thank you for the call. Definitely appreciate you.
You too, sir.
All right, great call. Let's go to 256 on the line. Who am I speaking to?
Hey, Anthony, how are you, man?
Doing well. About yourself?
Man, I'm doing well. I've been a long-time fan of the show. I've been on one time, and it was a long time ago. And I've been keeping up with the videos. I haven't watched a live in a while. I've hopefully, I haven't missed out on too many arguments on the live. I used to love watching it when you'd get into a debate with somebody.
Oh, yeah, it's been a few of those. So,
Of course.
Yeah.
Well, no, I wanted to ask you just some random questions, okay? They're not exactly really political, but one, I wanted to ask you about your channel. I see that how much it's grown since I've been like a follower years ago. And so a couple of just kind of personal questions, but not too personal. So one, when you were starting out as an entrepreneur, doing your own thing, posting these videos, I'm sure there was a point you were getting 10 views, 20 views. What did that feel like as a grown man, like starting that? Was there a little embarrassment? And then how does it feel now?
I mean, for me, it didn't even really matter about the views because I had a blog years ago where nobody, where nobody was reading it. I didn't care because I just had to get the message out there. So whether one person read it or 10 people read it, I had to get it out there. Also, I knew that you have to start somewhere. So I started first on Facebook. That's where I first started doing my live streams before YouTube. So when I was doing that, I had 1 viewer, 2 viewer. Then I was asking friends and family, hey, can you watch this? Can you watch it? Then I might have had 10 and they kept growing. And I started to get some repeat people. Like, okay, now I got something. Even though it's only 10 people, it's the same 10 people. So they're not just watching it one time and never watching it again. So I knew I had something. So it was just a matter of time before it grew, and it did.
How does it feel now, though, man? I mean, is it like bizarre?
No, because I had confidence in myself from the beginning.
And it was probably a gradual growth too, right?
It was pretty gradual because, like I said, I started on Facebook first, and then I came to YouTube, and then I became more consistent. And there were certain points where it was certain bumps, like 2016 when Trump got elected, that was a big bump. And then 2020 during the pandemic, that was also a big bump. But beyond the big bumps, it was a gradual climb.
Well, man, I've been a long-time fan. I just want to congratulate you so much, first off. And I was curious to see how you felt. I wanted to ask one more thing. This is, I've called before and asked about subjects not related to politics or related to politics. I wanted to know and I know I got to get off here with you, but I'm just curious. So I'm a college age guy, right? And I, get all this advice from all these different sources, family, friends, etc., and then social media and all this stuff. So I'm that age where you're starting to get a lot of peer pressure to get married. What do you think with such a high divorce rate, and that affects the economy and politics? That's why I'm asking you, and family and all those things. If you were talking to a guy that's 21, 25, 23, what would you tell him when there's a 60% divorce rate, all of these other problems, pornography, adultery? Is it still, if you just tune into social media, the consensus is like, hey, don't even get married. What would you, just personally, I'm not looking for a right or wrong answer, do you have an opinion on that?
I do. Yes, I do. Now, here's what I would tell you. I would tell you as a young man, 21, like, you're young, focus on whatever you are going to be doing for your career, for your path, for your purpose. Focus on that at that age and go really hard at it and become the best at wherever you're doing. And not only become the best at whatever you're doing, but become the best version of you that you can be. Don't have any blind spots. Be perfect. That's what I would say. Be perfect. Because if you're perfect, you're going to find someone who's on the same page with you, trying to do the same things that you're doing. Don't get with somebody that's kind of fat and lazy, and I'm being dead serious. You need to be active, physically fit, doing the best you can do. Be a high quality person and find another high quality person, and you guys get together. Now, there's going to be risks, but if you would like to get married, I would tell you to mitigate your risks by being the best version of you and finding a young lady on that same page. If she's kind of like, drinking and drugging and not doing the right thing, and it don't matter how she looks, it doesn't matter anything, it's going to be a bad situation. So it's going to be dangerous regardless, because you got a high divorce rate. But you be high quality and have her be high quality. That'd be the best way to mitigate the risk.
Right. Man, I appreciate you taking the call, dude. I know how booked up y'all are. So, man, God bless you, Anthony. Man, I've been a long-time follower. So happy for your success, and I mean that genuinely. Aside from this phone call being live, I mean that genuinely, man. Keep it pushing, man. You got a lot of people pulling for you that care about you.
Thank you for the call, man. Definitely appreciate you.
Yes, sir, man. Peace.
All right. Great call. Great call. I appreciate that comment toward the end, too. That was a good comment. I really, really did appreciate that. It felt very genuine. So shout out to the young man. But like I say, yeah, be the best version of you. If you have bad habits, vices, things like that, you need to get all that worked out and focus on your career path. Whatever that is, whatever you're going to do, focus on that. Focus on being the best at it. Focus on being the best at it and find somebody on that same page with you. Somebody who is health conscious, that you could talk to, have a good conversation with, a non-combative person. Find the best person for you. What you want to do is be the guy that all the women want. If you're that guy and you can find a girl who's on the same page, that'll mitigate your risks. But don't think that there's no risks, and the risks are severe. It's very severe, so please be careful. Do not take that lightly. That'll be the most important thing you do in your life. So take it seriously. If it takes years for you to get to where you want to be, then so be it, because theoretically, y'all will be together for years and years and years, your whole life. That's a long time. All right, 615, hit online. Who am I speaking to?
What's going on, ABL? It's Boomhower, man. How you doing?
Hey, it's all good, man. What's going on?
Man, I just want to say, appreciate the love, man, from everybody in the chat, and appreciate love from you, man, with all these storms and stuff, man. That tornado earlier was wild, man. I ain't never seen no clouds. But we literally were looking outside the front. I got a glass door. My front door is glass, and I could see the clouds whipping really, like they were coming together fast. I ain't never seen a cloud move that fast, man. We're looking at it, and I'm like, and my neighbors were outside, like, pointing up in the air, and I'm like, man, y'all better go in the house, man. And I'm looking at it above I got a neighbor across the street, right directly in front of my house, and behind his house, that mug was coming together, and we're just looking at it like, oh, no, that might be the one. And then the next thing you know, the dude next door to him, the trampoline in the backyard turned into a frisbee, dog. And it just started flying. It was going through the air. And we're like, oh, no. And when we saw that, we knew it was time, dude. We took off running. I took off running. We dove in the closet. I was like, oh, no, man, please don't let this be the one. I thought that was it. And we came back outside. It went by quick, too, man. It wasn't even that loud. It just got really, really dark. And, like, the rain was so hard. The rain was just, whoosh, just tearing the windows up. And it went by fast, man. And then I went outside, and the trampoline was in the neighbor's yard upside down and landed on the fence. So we all did the neighborly thing. We went out there and got the trampoline off dude's fence, laid it down, threw some rocks on top of it because we needed to hold it down this time, put some weight on it. So we just flipped it upside down, threw some weight on it. That way it didn't happen again. And everything out here was flooded. There was water everywhere. It was crazy, man. It went by pretty quick, though.
Yeah, that's crazy. That's totally crazy. But I'm glad it wasn't too much damage beyond that. No trees or nothing fell on nobody's house.
No, that didn't happen. But I did. I like riding around when it's over with just to see what's going on. You could hear the police sirens going on and all the fire engines and stuff. So like about 45 minutes later, I decided to get in the car and ride around. And there was one tree down. We did lose power for 2 hours. I don't know if that tree had the effect of it, though, but I don't think so. It might have been a car hit something or lightning probably struck or something. But I only saw one tree down and trash cans blown into different places all over the place, like on the street and stuff, like around Sonic and stuff. All their stuff was all blown over and debris was everywhere. You can just tell you could see where it went through because there was debris all over those streets, man. It's crazy.
Yeah, that's wild. That's totally wild. But hey, that's nature for you.
Oh yeah, seriously. And I want to one last thing I want to comment on is I didn't get to call in last week, but like for the past couple of weeks, you've been talking about people like going to work and getting up off their hind parts and getting a job, man, instead of being in the basement when you're like 25 years old and ain't got no job and mom and daddy telling you what to do, and that's what's wrong with society today. And, man, I started working matter of fact, my daddy would take me to work. Like, if ever we were like, oh, man, I'm sick, I don't want to go to school today, Daddy, my daddy would be like, oh, you don't want to go to school today? All right, get in this truck then. And he would, dude, you'd be 8 years old. I was either 8 or like 10, and he would take me. He was a maintenance man that would, like, paint. He would just refurbish houses, what he would do. He'd cut the grass, paint the house inside, outside, do everything to that. He'd put a new roof on if you had to. But he would take us to work with him, and he'd teach us how to redo stuff, man. He taught me how to do electricity. He taught me how to fix a commode. He taught me how to put a toilet in and out of a house, like how to put it in your house. He taught me how to do all that, man, how to do plumbing at a young age, man. I was just a kid, dude, and me and my brothers, we all learned at an early age how to, like, fix stuff and how to be a handyman. And like you said, how you going to call somebody to come over to your house and put something together for you? You need to be a man and put that thing together. Open up the box, read the directions, fool, and get your little screwdrivers and drills out and be a man and put that thing together. My daddy taught me all that, man, at a young age, man. And I got my first job when I was 14. So I remember it was $4.25 an hour at 14 years old, man. I was trying to buy my first guitar, and I really wanted to be a musician. I really wanted to play music, and my daddy told me straight up. He said, hey, man, I know you want to play guitar, man, but I can't buy one for you. And I said, well, what am I supposed to do? He said, you better get a job. All right, how am I supposed to do that? You better figure it out. And my mama just so happened to be a bed maker, as Fast House Barry would say, fruit pickers and bed makers, right? My mama was a bed maker. So my mom was a bed maker, and she took me to a Comfort Inn when I was 14 and taught me how to make beds, dude. And I just worked with her every day, man, until I saved up all my money to buy that first guitar, dude. And ever since that day, man, I never stopped working, dude. And now I own my own business. I'm an entrepreneur. Everything's good, man. Life is great. And it is what it is, man. You just got to get off them hind parts and go to work, man. These people out here too coddled. And I think these parents out here ain't trying to whoop their kids like we got whooped, because like you say, you can't talk back to your daddy, man. He'll tear you up. And I think these days parents are like, man, I ain't trying to hit my kids like my mom and daddy hit me. So therefore their kids cussing them out, telling them all kind of crazy stuff and just talking back, man. And it's just a mess. So these people need to straighten up, man. And like you said, get a job, man, because that's what we did, and look where we're at. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly, 100%. You said it perfect.
Yep, that's it, man. Well, hey, man, everybody have a good night, man. I love the chat, man. Best chat in the world. And great show tonight, by the way, man. It's nice and funny, too. I like it, man. Good show. All right, man. Have a good night.
Thanks for the call. Appreciate it.
See ya.
Great call from Boomhower. Fantastic call. 215 on line. Who am I speaking to?
Oh, shit. You picked, wow. My first time calling, you just pick up right away.
You lucky night, man. Lucky man tonight.
Yeah. So, the question I wanted to ask you about, of course, did you cover the story where the teen had like they said, I didn't watch it, but they said he went up to the track meet with a ski mask on and a knife, and he just stabbed the other teen.
Is that what you heard for real? That's
a
ski mask.
Heard, but I didn't watch the story. I thought you had covered it by now. What happened?
Nah, I mean, I've not covered that story because there's so much misinformation and so many different versions of the story that's out. So basically, for those who don't know, there's a story circulating on social media about a fight, I suppose, that ended in the stabbing with one of the teens dying. Like the one teen killed the other teen in the fight. Now, some say it was because the person who got stabbed started it. Some say the guy who stabbed him started it. I don't really know. It's a bunch of different things going on. But the reason why it's being spoken about is because the victim is white and the aggressor or the person who stabbed him was black. So that's why. And they're trying to make that be some kind of race thing. The father came out. I did see the father come out and say, it's not a race thing. Don't say that it is. And if you don't know what happened, then don't speak on it. That's what the dad said. That's all that I know. That's all that I know to be the truth. Beyond that, the details of how it started and who did what to who, I don't really know. All I know is that the white kid died and the black kid is one that stabbed him.
All right. And one more thing, ABL, I wanted to ask you. A lot of people were saying when Trump handed out the stimulus, they said Obama was the one that signed it into law. Is that true?
You said that, hold on, when Trump gave out stimulus, Obama signed it into law?
While Obama was president at the time, he signed it into law.
I don't understand. So what year was this?
They said in Obama's his last term, before he left office, he signed the stimulus check law, signed it into law. Whenever there's a catastrophe, when we get stimulus check.
A stimulus check law?
That's what they were trying to say.
Ain't no such thing as a stimulus check law. What the, like a stimulus?
Yeah, I was going to say not stimulus check law. That didn't sound right.
No, I mean, Obama gave out stimulus checks and so did Trump. That's all. Like to try and say that Obama gets credit for what Trump did. That's crazy. I've not heard that one yet. I've heard them try to say that Biden did it, but I've not heard about them saying Obama did it. That's crazy.
Yeah, they said Obama signed it into law that we can get stimulus checks.
But like, okay, I got a question. Where'd you hear that at? Is that a TikTok? Like, where you hear that? I'm like,
oh my God! I'm gonna tell you right now. Where I heard that at, it was this. This older black woman in my life. She's a Democrat supporter.
There
a
you
Trump
go.
Hater.
Say no more. Say no more. You only got to tell me nothing. She don't know nothing. She don't know nothing. All she gonna halfway watch TV, and they gonna lie to her. She not gonna do no reading. That's what's going on. Democrat, like I already know what it is.
Yeah, and you know what's funny? When me and her getting into debates, she said she follows politics all the time. But I asked her, who is Candace Owens? She said, I've never heard of Candace Owens. I said, you can't follow politics like that. Look, anybody that follows politics, you've heard of Candace Owens at one point. Regardless if you like her or not, you're going to hear that name, Candace Owens.
All she does is watch TV. That's it. And probably just watch one channel. And if they don't talk about Candace Owens, she's not going to hear about her.
Yeah, she says you never heard of her. I said, nah, you're not that deep into politics, because people who are deep into politics, they've heard the name Candace Owens, like her or not. So I was like, nah, I'm not buying that. But like you said, you predicted it just right. A cable watcher. She said, I don't be on YouTube at all. I was like,
Wow, crazy.
Yeah, thanks for taking my call, ABL.
Thanks for the call, man. Definitely appreciate you.
All right, you have a good night.
Same to you. All right, so there we go. That's crazy. I've not heard that one. Obama, how did that's something new. That's a brand new one for me. Like I've heard quite a few things, but I've not heard that one yet. That's a first for me. All right, let's go to 541. You know, line. Who am I speaking to?
Hey, ABL, this is your buddy Matt over here in Bend, Oregon. I haven't called in a little while. Just thought I'd give you a jingle. I didn't know if I could get in. So, how you been, bro?
It's all good, man. What's going on?
Good, man. I just listened to everything you were saying. I was gonna say, to all these people that are worried about these tariffs, man. It's kind of. I was saying something to somebody the other day, and I was like, it's one of those things where you take one step. You lose a couple steps to take a couple steps forward, man. You kind of got to reset a little bit sometimes. It's not always the easiest thing to do, but I feel like in the long game, I think we're going to be better off.
Absolutely, 100%. And the thing about it is, if you don't do it this way, you kick a can down the road. And what's going to happen once you get to the end of the road where the can get kicked is going to be very bad. It's going to be very damaging. So do it right now. Do it the right way. Have a little bit of just go through it, and you'll be better off afterward.
Yeah. That's what I'd say to people, man. Just kind of slow your roll a little bit. Take a breath. Vote in the midterms so we can get that stuff knocked out, and then just continue with it, man. It's crazy how loud these Democrats are getting, because I'm over here in Oregon. So they're just, even in my little town, I grew up here in Bend, and we were always very conservative, but the area that it is, and as beautiful as it is, it's just gone overran with Californians. A lot of them are good people, but a lot of them that have come here just, I don't know, man. It's just, I always say the most common liberal Bend woman is, She's got the leggings on with the Ugg boots. She's got the vest and the beanie on, man. She's driving a freaking Subaru, dude. They're nuts, man. They're crazy around here.
I can see her perfectly from what you described her. I can see her in my mind.
You know it, don't you?
Yes, I do. I've seen that quite a bit, and when I see him, I know him automatically. And it's because we got them here too. They come to Tennessee too.
Oh, it's crazy, isn't it? Yeah, no, some of them from here go there.
Yep.
So I feel sorry for you, brother. And to make it even worse, sometimes even if you're on the edge and then you see like a funny color hair, you're like, oh, never mind, it's locked in now.
Exactly.
So, anyways, man, I just thought I'd call and just say, hey guys, just chill on the tariffs, man. I think it's going to be a good thing. Maybe we can get our tax rates way down, or maybe eliminated. So, but like I said, it's a long game. So we'll just, I'm going to trust the process, ABL.
Right up 100%, man. Right on.
Yep. All right, buddy. Well, shoot, man. I'm going to let everybody else get in here. I'll give you a shout one of these days again soon and check back in with you. I always love the content, bro. So keep it rolling.
Thank you for the call, man. Definitely appreciate you.
All right, buddy. Have a good night.
All right. Shout out to the caller. Let me take one more. I got to go. Let's go 631. You're the line. Who am I speaking to?
Hi, this is Ann from Long Island.
All righty.
Been on for a while because an illegal alien crashed my knee. 3 of them. Anyway, out here is insanity. I went to the Department of Motor Vehicles because someone stole my driver's license in Indiana. They threatened to call the police if I didn't leave. I said, give me a temporary license till this is fixed. I don't break the law. Oh, but you got a placard. Nobody's going to give you a ticket. I said, I don't break the law. All right, leave before we call the police. I said, go right ahead. It took me 1 day to fix this. Okay? Now we have, they're getting Social Security and Medicare and Medicaid. They also get in the Department of Social Services, homes for free with no mortgage and no taxes on Long Island. I don't know how that's possible if they have 5 kids and they're all going to school and there's no school tax on your property taxes. Anyway, this is a nightmare for me because I'm ready for a breakdown, because when I went to get a driver's license, I had to take a written test to get a permit. We're going back way back. But that was the law. You had to pay for that. I passed it, and I got my permit. Then you had to take a written test. A driver's test. If you were 1 inch away from the curb doing the parallel parking, you failed. And that was like $100 back in the day, each time you had to take the test. So why are they getting free driver's licenses with no tests? I got hit 3 times by them. I don't know if it's deliberate or not, but they also killed my dog, my 21-year-old dog, that guy. And they told him you could go. He can go. I never heard of such a thing in my life. But everything that's happening on Long Island, I don't see ICE anywhere. I've called everywhere. Everywhere I could call. And nobody takes a phone call. You have to write this big, long letter. I'm like, are you crazy? Don't you want a tip of where they are? They're all over where I live, all over. And stealing everything. Everything that they don't get free. And they have everything free. Now they're getting houses with no taxes, no mortgage. I got to get out of here. Do you know anywhere I can go? I know you said Tennessee one time, but then that got a little rocky.
It got rocky how? What happened?
What? Yeah, they got like wacky. They all moved in there or somewhere. So I just wanted to know if you know of any places I can move to. I have to get the hell out of here, otherwise I'm going to lose my mind, honestly. Because it's not fair. It's like they're bashing Americans and taking away from Americans. Somebody stole my Social Security and disability. Why do you expect me to live? And unemployment. And now they want to take away my food stamps. How about that? But I do have a lawsuit against that guy. But the other 2 that crashed into me was a scam. They kept taking pictures of all my information. Give me your information. Give me your information. Give me your information. I said, if you don't get away from me, I'm going to rip your head off. And then the other one was telling me, shut up. Shut up. This really happened. I'm an elderly single woman. Happens to me every single day. I just have to get the hell out of here. I don't know what else to do. The rents are outrageous. The woman that's helping me because of my broken knee is paying half my rent. She carries everything in that I can't carry in. Because I got to drink a lot of water. And it's just a nightmare. Why are they bashing Americans? I don't understand. I am a total Trump girl. And why aren't they coming out on Long Island? They don't consider Long Island part of New York. The Hamptons are getting destroyed. They burned that place. And, everybody I call, like I said, everybody I call will not take shit. Who do you think you are? You can't talk to the county executive. I said, why not? I live on Long Island. Oh, well, you could talk to his secretary on Monday. But I just can't take it anymore. People are harboring them I live in a 55 and older gated community. So it's pretty safe in here, but people are harboring them in their apartments and collecting rent.
Right
and
on.
They have Section 8. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. Well, now I gotta go now, but thank you for your call.
Okay. You don't have any ideas where I should move to?
I'm not really sure. Maybe the chat can help you. You can just read that after we get off the call. Thank you for the call. Definitely appreciate you.
All right. Thank you. I appreciate you too. Bye.
All right. Shout out to her. But that'll be a wrap for me. 11:30 almost. Yeah. Because I was late and the mic got messed up. So shout out to you guys. I appreciate y'all for joining. I'll be back. Same bat time, same bat place. 8 p.m. Eastern time to right around right now, 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Wednesday. But I'm here all the time putting out pre-recorded content. You can also follow me on my Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, TikTok. Follow me everywhere. Go to the website. All my links are available. Go to the contact page. My email's there. My snail mail, UPS box, all that is right there on the contact page of the website. I'm very easy to find. Y'all know me, ABL, Anthony B. Logan, Anthony Brian Logan, very easy to find. If you're a first-time viewer, subscribe to the channel. Why not? It's easy. It's free. Go ahead and do it right now for me. And if you are not getting notifications, check the bell to make sure the bell is clicked. If it ain't clicked, go ahead and click that for me. You'll get notifications. Also, please follow me on Rumble. Follow Uncle ABL. I got some new content for Uncle ABL. So this week on Uncle ABL, I'm talking about Barack Obama, talking about he had to fix some things with his wife. How you going to be the president and your wife is mad? Anyway, I'm talking about that. Oh, I got another one. It's a young lady talking about she charges her husband to wash dishes in the house. I'm like, really? Anyway, I got a few of those coming on Uncle ABL. Please subscribe to the channel. All my links are available in the box. Thank you, Sheree, for the links right there in the chat. And thank y'all for being here. You guys are the best audience anywhere on these interwebs. If you like what you heard tonight, please give the video a thumbs up. Like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. Thank you guys for watching, retweeting, super chatting, whatever you're doing. I could not do the show without you. Thank you to the mods for keeping the trolls in check. I appreciate y'all for that as well. I have one more super chat here. I'll read that. Then I'll wrap it on up, put the book clean on top. Thank you to, where I'm at. Thank you to Regina the Godmother, who says, I'm here representing the old lady delegation. Shout out to you. I appreciate you representing the old lady delegation for sure. But I think that will be a wrap for me. So until next time, y'all be safe. I'm out. And peace.